Hello, friends and bees and friends who are also bees, and welcome to this week's Indie Thursday stream. I definitely did not get completely distracted and lose track of time and completely forgot that I'd started stream there. That would be someone else. I also just realised I forgot to press play on my music, so it's just been complete silence for like 4 minutes, which is great. It's a lot of fun, funky fresh. I am very with it, as you can tell. This week as Indie Thursday, we are going to be continuing Higurashi When They Cry, Tatarigoroshi. So last week we had a lunch competition where we discovered that we can't cook and nearly set the house on fire. And then our friend, my brain, is completely blanking on her name. Stoko, that's it. I just could not think of the word Stoko there. Stoko came over to cook for us. We discovered that her older brother went missing just over a year ago. Well, we think he ran away. Keiichi thinks he ran away. We know that he's gone missing, and that we're sort of being viewed as a not quite a replacement, but a potential stand-in for Satoshi. And this week we're going to keep going. The achievement for the next chapter, I wish it would not insist on opening your friend's page every time I opened Steam overlay. The achievement for the next chapter is called New Horizons, and then the one after that is Mystery Meat. So I'm intrigued. But anyway, let's keep going, shall we? Move the mouse out of the way. Oh, really? Your parents came home, huh? They smelled like energy drinks and the eyes were all bloodshot. They had the crazy amount of stuff to do and they were up 2 whole nights in a row. Adults have it tough. This is true, can confirm. Yeah. Dad's an artist, right? They really do have it rough. Come to think of it, he was, wasn't he? I would very much like to see what kind of things he draws sometimes. An artist, huh? I've seen a number of watercolour and acrylic paintings on display, but he had to be doing some other job too. Just what did Dad do exactly? Shit. He didn't let anyone into his workshop after all. I wanted to sneak a peek one day. So the house was empty for 2 days after all that? That didn't leave much time. So, Keiichi, did you manage to go after the character who was in your heart? The absence of parents is a must-have for protagonists. He built up a lot of relationship points and raised all the right flags. I have no idea what any of you were talking about. Keiichi, I haven't played Persona or any of those type games. That means you don't need to cook for yourself anymore, Keiichi. What did you make last night? In the end, I didn't make a single thing myself. Last night's dinner, well, it was vegetable stir-fry. Wow, Keiichi, you can make a little bit of real cooking now, huh? You made vegetable stir-fry? Did it come out good? Did it? Raina, you're being unpleasant. Why are you clinging to me? A delicious meal and a friendly dishwashing together. Oh, how nice, how nice. Hey, I said you're being unpleasant. Huh? What are you talking about? Mion, utterly confused, asked me for clarification, but I just barely, albeit transparently, averted my eyes. Right. Does anyone have plans for this afternoon? You don't, do you? Do you? Master away, so today was Saturday. Beautiful day on which we're liberated from the confines of school in the afternoon. Actually, the school in Hinamizawa had slightly different Saturdays than those in the city. There were a lot of students here who brought a bento, ate it at lunch, and then went to go play in the school or around the schoolyard. You could say the entire school turned into a children's playground. Makes sense, I suppose, it's somewhere safe for them to be. There are mountains behind the school, and if you went down that way, you'd find mountain streams. You could avoid the strong sunlight and make conversation in the classroom if you wanted to. You could also play hide and seek in the construction pipes. That seems very unsafe. Of course, you were free to go home as well. There were some kids who went home to help water the fields or tend to the stores. If Mion was bringing up the afternoon like this, then it must have been for some crazy big club event. However, sadly I had something I needed to do before taking part in whatever it was. You have work? That's unlucky. I wonder what kind of work it is. Maybe helping his father with his artwork job? Or being a model for his father's art? A model? I'm not reading that out loud. No, I wouldn't. To refrain his solutions, I swung ahead and God, the slapstick in this game is a lot of fun sometimes. Stop. Sorry. Leaving your fanciful delusions aside, I have something to do real quick during lunch. I'm okay to meet up with you after I'm done though. Work during lunch? I see. That sounds like kinda cool actually. What could it be? Are you having a banquet with VIP experts? Like a business lunch? This is truly sad, but you're right. What? Everyone shouts wildly, surprised. It was true. Today I'd be on the job with my family. For my dad's job, he was having about 10 people from the publishing agency over for a house party. He called people from work for a party the day after having stayed up 2 nights in a row. I'm amazed at their vitality. I couldn't do that. Adults do have it pretty rough. Of course it'd be incredibly uncomfortable for me. It'd be really tiring to have to force myself to smile at some old dudes I didn't know. But they were my dad's important business connections, so offending them would be bad. Well, with all that said, it was going to get very uncomfortable for me today, starting at lunch. Well, what an intelligent child. This is my son, Keiichi. Keiichi, this is Mr. Honda. He's a publisher. And this person here is Mr. Inoue, who works as a printer. Say your hellos. Hello. My name is Keiichi. I appreciate all you've done for my father. Keiichi, do you draw pictures like your father does? I'd very much like to see them. My dad has such a brazen occupation, that of an artist. Although, I don't really know what kinds of things he creates. I don't really care and I don't want to see anyway. Dad's so tight-fisted about it, so he doesn't show them to me very often anyways. I'm not a kid anymore, so I wouldn't care at all if they weren't nudies or anything. If you study under your father as an apprentice, you'd be able to become a great artist like him too. Excuse me, this is just between you and me, but my dad, is he really that great of an artist? I readied myself and whispered my question. It might have seemed odd for a son to be asking this, but when I did, he gave me this really strange grin and tightly clamped down onto my shoulders. Yes, he is truly, truly fantastic artist. Is that so? I'm glad to hear it. Always answers the questions he gets. He has an inquisitive mind, always on the prowl for what the world needs. Hi, Niggles. I hope you're doing well. I hope you've been having a good day. Sorry, but not the ones you hang on the wall? Not at all. Everyone starts in the islands, into their corners, and finally climbing up to the corners of the larger paths. The final destination is the famous wall. You too. Please, become a great artist who can display his works in unison with Mibara-sensei. I'll come cheer you on. It's fine to have a lot of passion for the things you like, but I didn't get it. But it seemed that the world of art ran pretty deep. It was probably a much deeper world than I could have imagined. I decided to leave it at that. Then I realised my mum was calling me from the other side of the room. I hope you're doing well. You've really not missed much. We're having lunch with some of my dad's business partners. Keiichi, it's the phone. It's a friend of yours. Lucky break. Maybe I could get out of this uncomfortable business party by using a friend's phone call as an excuse. Scampered over to the front door and snatched up the receiver my mum had left there. Hello? It's me. Hello, me. That's not how you answer the phone, Keiichi. I implore you, learn how to choose your words more properly. I was of the opinion the person speaking to me had a far stranger way of talking. Oh, it's Satoko. It's unusual for you to call my house. This isn't the time for pleasantries. Keiichi, when are you going to be able to come? Sorry, it looks like this is going a bit long. I can't get them to let me go. I want to go do things with the club now, but... That's not it, Keiichi. It wasn't about the club today. It's a real battle. Satoko's voice was different from normal. Could feel the urgency in it drifting through the phone. A real battle? That doesn't sound good. What's the situation? I'll explain the particulars when we meet. Anyway, this is a terrible crisis. At this rate, we're going to lose. What on earth was going on? Could it have been a fight? I didn't know who they were, but laying a hand on someone in Namizawa was an absolutely terrible idea. You know it. Bonk. Right, got it. I'll come and reinforce you right away. Where are you at? We're on the Okonomiya Elementary School campus. There are signs at the station, so you should be able to figure it out. Anyway, we're in a huge hurry. School campus? Situation could have a lot of people involved. Could it have turned into an all-out brawl? Who is the enemy here, anyway? Oh, I'm on fire. Got it. I'll be there soon. Should I bring a weapon with me? Like a metal baseball bat or something? You have a metal bat? That'd be fantastic. We'll wait for you here. The call cut off abruptly. I needed to hurry. Oh, Keiichi, I was looking for you. Deguchi here was hoping that for his next urgency. Now's not the time. Don't we have a bat? A metal bat? If not, then anything long will do. If anything long will do, then my gold clubs are in the storage room. Didn't have the same kind of impact, but a gold club was a splendid weapon too. It was lighter than a baseball bat, maybe easier for me to use. Thanks, I'm borrowing one. I really need to go see my friends for something. It's urgent. Sorry. What? Keiichi, wait a minute. I grabbed a golf club, jumped on my bike and headed straight for town. Wait for me, Stoko. I'll be right there. Just hold out until then. Dun dun dun. I didn't actually know where Okonomiya Elementary was exactly, but Stoko's phone call seemed to demand urgency, so I rushed out without asking her about how to get there. But if I went to the station, there'd be signs. At least I feel like that's what she said. Then I heard the jingling of a bicycle bell from behind me. Hello there. Hey, Rika. Keiichi, you came quickly. You put the pedal to the metal. Damn, this isn't the time to be out of breath. I need to hurry. Sorry, where is Okonomiya Elementary? I'll show you the way. Come along with me. Rika rode off on her bike. I followed her. Stoko suddenly called me out here, but what on earth is going on anyway? At first we had the advantage. However, they called in a helper. It's bad manners. A helper? What cowards, calling for reinforcements the minute they'd realise they'd lose. They're taking everyone out one by one. We can't put a dent in them. Oh, sounds like they're pretty strong. Anyway, I'll ask about it later. We don't have time, right? Please, hurry. Leave it to me. Dun 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 dun. With Rika leading the way, we headed straight for the elementary school grounds. I asked Rika something during that time. Seeing that all of the club members beside me were part of this fight. Damn, so what Mion was trying to tell everyone was that this would happen? If I'd known that, I would have just ditched my family job. But it was too late for regrets. According to Rika, we had a one-sided advantage at the start, but our angry foes had brought in a powerful ally. Club members put up resistance and went against them one by one, but apparently they couldn't stand up to them. The combined efforts of the whole club couldn't win. Just what kind of monster is this guy? He's amazing. The enemy is orthodox. Orthodox? So they weren't using fetish brawling tactics, but had actually studied karate or something. Is that what she meant? Keiichi is our last ray of hope now. Okonomiya Elementary came into view. I could hear many voices racing hell over there. Woof! Mion, Reina, Stoko. I'll be there soon. I'll crush them all at once. There were a lot of bicycles left out in front of the school. I left mine there next to them in the same way. Could tell there were a lot of people flooding the campus. Were there two armies in the midst of a huge no-holds-barred brawl? I took my golf club in hand. Whoosh! I swung it. Felt the sensation of it sticking firmly to my palm. Great! Feedback wasn't bad. I'm gonna go all out with this thing. All-out attack, or something. I dashed at breakneck speed to the school gate, swinging it around. Come with me, Rika. I will show you what the mighty manly warrior Keiichi Maebara can really do. Wow, Keiichi, you're so reliable. You're going to rampage with the gold club. Rika applauded me, though a little dryly, lauding my valiance. The manly Keiichi Maebara put it behind him and headed for the place where he may die. But Keiichi, why did you bring a golf club today? I had no choice. First I figured a baseball bat would have been good, but we don't have one at my house. Golf club was far better than going by-handed, so I brought one. Very excellent. I'll give you a pat on the head. I can't wait to see your golf club rampage. Despite the emergency situation, Rika reached up and stroked me on the head. I do have such an abiding passion for how slapstick these games are at the start. It also seems like every episode gets more ridiculous at the start and then more heartbreaking at the end. Hey, this is no time for jokes. Huh? Crack. Just then, an extremely loud metallic sound drowned me out, and I heard many people cheering. Left! Ah, we missed! Run! You can get to second base, go! Center! I'm not doing different voices for all these boys. Calm down. Send it to third. Center fielder caught the ball, and after a brief pause, sent it flying to third base. If he'd pitched it wildly, it might get there. Gave up on second and threw it to third with time to spare. Instructions from the bench, they were solid. Wait, what? Oh, Keiichi's here. Stoko, Keiichi's here. You're late. Loafing around is only okay when you do it at the bread shop. Good pun, well made. This Maebara kid, will he really save us? We're up against that ace among champions, Kameda. He can beat a Goshen class pitcher. He must be a god. It's okay. I'm sure that Keiichi can turn the tables. He's a really dependable person. What? He's the pinch hitter we brought in to take out left-arm Kameda with his bullet fastball? The one-handed no-hit, no-run game after another during the regional qualifiers, the undefeated demon pitcher of Oshima, the super high school level pitcher that had already been marked by professional scouts. He's going to win against him? Some greenhorn pitcher like that is no match for Keiichi. He'll send his throws all the way to the back screen for an easy victory. There was a slugger like that in this prefecture? I had no idea. He must have gone under the radar. Hey, that scout stood up. Hey, take a picture. His full name is Keiichi Maebara. Look him up in the database and send his history to our office. Which one is Keiichi Maebara? Pictures! A lot of sports journalists led by Stoko gripped their cameras tightly and searched for the rumoured Keiichi Maebara. As for me, I was so dazed to what was happening that I was frozen in place with my golf club up in the air. Keiichi over here. Ah? Camera people stared at me through their viewfinders, and just like I had, they turned to stone. In the hands of the gallant pitcher, Keiichi Maebara was a golf club. Nobody could seem to understand why I was holding something like this. And at this point, neither did I. A cold, greasy sweat dripped from me. First one to break the inordinately awkward silence was Reina. Keiichi, yeah? Maybe ask you a question? Please don't. Psychic waves of my entreaty flowed out of my face along with my sweat, somehow seemed to reach the two of them. Deathly quiet reporters all parted, as Moses once parted the sea, but Moses probably didn't go through the parted seas this quickly. If you're playing baseball, then tell me that from the start! What? Did I not say that? I mean, I told you to come to the campus with a baseball bat. What else could you have thought it was? And what manner of thinking caused you to mistakenly bring a golf club here instead? I think Keiichi must have done it on purpose to lighten our moods and get us pumped, I think. Reina smiled bitterly and covered for me with all her might. Reina's so great. Despite what you may think from Onikakushi, she is so great. Please believe her, everyone. I'm begging you. Keiichi loves golf. Pet pet. Rika started patting my head, a broad grin on her face all the while. I pushed her hand away, grabbed her from behind by her suspenders and picked her up like a kitten. Rika, why didn't you tell me it was a baseball game when we met at the station? I wouldn't have had to suffer such a disgrace. Mipa? Rika's smile was like the sun, so incredibly innocent. Oh, she's glowing. When I saw Rika's radiant smile, I couldn't help but feel like I could forgive anything she did. I'm so excited for Chapter 4. Rika's the bad one. However, if Rika thought I actually would, then she had another thing coming. Anyway, this is your punishment. Reina? Me? Says Rika still plucked up in my hand. I offered her to Reina. That's right. Kittenified Rika sent Reina's voltage into overcharge. Oh, I'll take her. Reina will take her. So cute. Oh, spinny spin. Reina stuck out her tongue like a chameleon and preyed upon Rika while spinning her around. Rika's so cute. How? I love this artwork. Reina held it tight as a vice and began to get a feel of rubbing her cheek into Rika's. Cheeks rubbed together tightly. Rika's face looked like it was being crushed by Reina's. I don't know what's happened, but it looks like Rika has gotten her just desserts. Yeah, I recently found out that Rika isn't only cute. Oh, I got Keiichi's permission. I'm gonna take you home. Eek. For the moment, I just gave her a 3-minute timeout. By the way, it's Toko. That urgent call was for a baseball game? Yep, that's correct. You said you had a house party with your family. I suppose I was wrong to ask, but at times of trouble like this, you obviously must prioritize friends over family. Felt like that's what I was supposed to be saying, not you. Well, it was just a business party for my dad, I guess. Honestly felt glad to be called out here. So what's the crisis situation like? 6-7, which means our team is losing, huh? 2 outs on the bottom of the 9th? What the heck? This game is almost about to end. We've had a little more time if you'd gotten here sooner. Do you have any idea how difficult it was for us to hold out this long? Alright, I'm sorry. Okay, so what am I doing? Am I going to be the pinch hitter? Just leave it to me. I may not look like it, but I went to the batting cages a lot before I moved here. My dad went there for fun, and I used to go with him pretty often. I'm pretty confident about just hitting the bat with the ball, but... Vroom. Tremendous sound rang out, the likes of which I'd never heard before. I wish we had, like, batting cages here, because if I can hit the ball in a game of baseball or rounders, it goes miles. And I would have liked to have actually got some practice in being able to hit. One of the greatest upsets of my life, I was playing rounders, which is like British baseball, and I had a really good hit, and somebody caught it straight away and struck me out, and it was my best hit of the game, and I was so annoyed. The catcher's mitt trembled, sending up a light cloud of dust, telling me the tremendous sound had come from the ball. Hey now, wait a second. What's with that crazy fastball anyway? Surprised? Yeah, that's a bona fide Koshien level pitcher. Don't you know about left-arm Kameda, the high school ace famous in sports magazines? Sorry, can't say I do. Wait, Mion? What happened to you? Mion showed up, and to my surprise, she was wrapped up in bandages. Just what on earth had happened? Well, it came late, so I guess we need to explain from the beginning. Done with Rika? Yep, I had a lot of fun, and she's so cute. She's so soft and fluffy and squishy. I could just eat her up. I can't get married anymore. Okay, explain away. How did things get screwed up enough that a Koshien relief pitcher ended up in a baseball game for fun? Everyone exchanged glances, then Raina spoke for all of them. At first, well, it was just a normal baseball game. It's nothing much, just a little grudge match between the Hinamizawa fighters and the Okonomiya Titans. We were just having a grand old time, really, nothing much. Well, in simpler terms, it was an intramural match, a match to settle the grudge between the Hinamizawa and Okonomiya. We say grudge, but it's all pretty peaceful and friendly. So why is the whole club a part of it? Some of you are wearing uniforms and some aren't. Last I checked, we weren't the school baseball team. That is, well, it's pretty irresponsible. They happened to have some players who couldn't make it today. They were pretty down in the dumps, so we ended up getting involved post-haste. I see. So if there weren't enough members, anyone could come to the rescue, whether boy or girl, and no matter what grade they were in. That jumbled-together feeling was the hallmark of our school. But Rika told me we were crushing them at the beginning. Mion was an amazing batter. She was hitting home runs left, right, and centre. Mion proudly stuck out her chest. Doing so seemed to hurt her somehow, and she groaned pathetically. Yes, every time Mion went to the bat, she hit a home run and brought everyone on the bases in. Unlike Toko, she can actually hit the ball. Rika... Alright, I think I got the gist of it. So you're having a pretty easy time until that Koshien pitcher showed up. That's right. It was all us at the beginning. Maybe we didn't get all that many points, but we were always getting people on the bases. And Kameda just happened to show up to watch the game today. Apparently Kameda attends a fairly well-known school in our prefecture that frequently sent people to Koshien, and this man known as the ace of the baseball team, Kameda, seemed to be quite skilled. Now that I thought about it, it was certainly strange to see cameramen with journalist armbands here to watch a casual baseball game out in sticks like this. I heard that when Kameda was little, he was on the Okonomiya Titans. You figured it out, right? His whole team was losing, so that's why he jumped in as relief pitcher and took the mound. Now it's just terrible. We can't even hit any foul balls, much less get anyone on base. But still, a Koshien pitcher barging in, it's unfair. We were just playing for fun. All the boys wearing the Hinamizawa fighter's uniform were hanging their heads in disappointment. I knew almost all of their faces. Isn't everyone here a classmate? Oh, I see. We're the only school in Hinamizawa after all. Oh, it's Tomita and Nakamura. You're on the baseball team too? Maebara. His uniform was brand new and not very dirty, pressed off the freshers. His handmade banners with their names written on them in the grandstands. See, their families came to root for them in their debut game today. Okamura said he just got his bat today as a present from his dad. The brand new bat sparkled. With that kind of present, a man just has to perform well. He practiced swinging a whole lot just for today. Tomita, well, he went too far and he tore the skin off his hand, see? Unfortunately, his torn hand looked like it hurt, but from the injury you could sense his backbone. I get it, guys. You wanted to make your big moment a good one. Vroom. Save for the Okonomiya Titans, we could hear the sounds of this Kameda's tremendous fastball practice. This was no joke. He was definitely on a level far above high school kids. But at his level, he clearly shouldn't have been interrupting a grass lot game, grudge match though it may have been. Should have understood how much better he was too. This guy, was he being serious against opponents like these? Yep. Reina thinks it's immature. Reina's eyes grew harsh. It took a lot to get Reina mad. As for Tomita and Nakamura, they were sniffling, fighting back tears. We heard another tremendous noise from the mid. Turned around and this lift-armed Kameda guy was looking at us and grinning boldly. Anyway, that's how it is. Now that it's come to this, we have no choice. We have to engage in a real battle. Yeah, looks like we have to get serious. Yep, and then we tried getting serious, but then Mion went out with a bang. Mion and Barra scratched her head, then a moment later doubled over in pain. Went out with a bang, but how on earth did she end up getting injured like this? It would take a really long time to explain. The one thing I can say is that she came up empty, even though she pushed herself that hard. Ugh, I risked my life, and I couldn't even get 1 point. Our secret plan did nothing, and how we're very sad. Hiccups! I can't even imagine what sort of secret plan it was, but it must have been crazy enough to get it that badly hurt. Still though, we're still playing baseball thanks to you failing, right? Yep. Maybe Mion's last resort wasn't very baseball-like, I think. We have no other recourse now, do we? It means that we need to settle the score front and centre in a manner befitting a baseball game. I've forgotten how to speak English. That's right, we have to settle it like a baseball. Like a baseball. I think normal people would have given up and gone for a frontal attack, but as a member of our club, I wasn't about to accept that so easily. Like baseball? I don't know. If you look at it like a baseball game, then we can't be picky, can we? It is our club's creed, after all. That's correct. We can't be picky, that's the virtue of our club. Reina and Stoker laughed to each other delightfully. It wasn't really a virtue we could brag about, but the best thing about our club was that we never rolled over and gave up. But the cameras are all watching very closely, so it'll be hard to cheat. Rika spread her arms wide, indicating the array of reporters in the bleachers. She was right. Although there's cameramen watching us through those cameras with giant telephoto lenses, foul play would be fairly tough. That's right. That's the bottleneck. Everyone's eyes are on us. We can't be too bold. Ow. I never did think Mion's ways were very ladylike, though. Stoker and Rika both nodded behind Reina. Then let's get down to business. Our team is down 1 run right now. Plus, it's the bottom of the 9th, and we already have 2 outs. If this old man's plan had gone better, we'd have our bases loaded about right now. There's no point in lamenting a failed plan. Our club never loses heart and always goes on to the next one. Stoker said eagerly, trying to cheer up the downcast Mion whose secret plan had failed. It may have failed, but Stoker still seemed to have another. So Toko, you seem pretty cheerful, which means you've got something up your sleeve, eh? Engagey, who do you think she is? It's a Toko, you know. It's Toko Hojo. That was right. We called her Trapmaster Stoko, didn't we? Trapmaster! She would ensnare her opponent at the perfect moment, at the very end. Everyone in our club knew that we could never ever let our guards down against the Toko. I may have taught her, but she's grown a lot and doesn't seem to want to stop. Sometimes even I'm astonished at how she overcomes such slim margins. By the way, Mion bats next, sends Toko. We're losing by 1 point, so if we could get the next runner on a base, then the run after that could hit a big one and end the match. And that final battler was the Toko? See? You feel like we can win now, right? Can't imagine what she's got set up, but it's got to be some kind of trap for sure. If I'm with the opposing pitcher, I'd definitely walk her. There was no way Stoko was going to hit a home run, even in my dreams. But if she was going to stand in the batter's box normally, without any kind of plan, I can't think of anything else she could do. And the fact that you called me here. I see. I think I know where this is going. It meant that I was a necessary piece of Stoko's trap. I'm excited. I wonder what Stoko will do. Very bad at reading out Raina's like verbal tick of being like, we'll do. The fact that she repeats like a line of that sentence. I'm also very bad at her howling. Make the noise that I make when I chub my dog's cheeks. He has very chubby cheeks, and he's very patient with me, just sort of holding him by the face and sort of go, whoa, 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 as I, like, ruffle his face. He's a very patient boy. A good boy. Oh, I miss my doggy so much. I can't wait to see Stoko's walk-off home run either. I'm gonna sneeze. Cage is indispensable for this. Understand? This is our last chance at creating an upset. We absolutely cannot fail. Oh, neat! That's really cool. I like that. That's it. That's very neat and also very difficult to imitate in English. You're not gonna be going like, well... Like, the Higurashi sound to me, it sounds like they're going like V, 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 V. But you're not gonna be... You know, it's not a word that you say, so... Well, the more you know. Right, that much I know for sure. Just watch. Okay. Stoko and I will give you all front row seats to the greatest turnaround victory of all time. Then I'll explain your instructions, Keiichi. Lend me your ear for a moment. Keep forgetting what voice I do for her. Stoko and I huddled up in a hidden place and held a briefing that anyone watching could tell was suspicious. I wonder what Maebara and Hojo were talking about. Hojo. I pray it's not some crazy trick like the one the President used. Our teammates, Tomita and Nakamura, seemed very nervous. Reina gave them a wide smile, trying to dispel their anxiety. It'll be okay, everyone. Stoko and Keiichi will be able to pull this off for us. But Ryugu, we're up against a Koshien pitcher. I don't know if Stoko's traps will be much good. Now, everyone be silent and watch. You're gonna get to see an interesting game. Hoo-hoo. Mion, who knew everything about Transpire, looked like she was having a hard time stifling the laughter bubbling up inside her. She was so terrifying as an enemy, but so reliable as an ally. Mion waved her hands at the Empire. We've got a pinch hitter. I, Mion Sonosaki, am switching out with Keiichi Maebara. Are you sure he'll be alright? The Empire turned an uneasy gaze on the pinch hitter, who had jumped in with a golf club. Don't underestimate Keiichi now. The members of our club were the only ones grinning with wholehearted confidence. Stoko's plan was definitely simple but scrupulous. It even looked like the entire situation had gone according to her calculations. The fact that we were losing by 1 point, the fact that I'd come late, the fact that Stoko was the last batter. It even felt like kind of like this had been set up before the game started. There had been lots of time since I got here. And during that time, the opposing pitcher, Kameda, took a bathroom break. Even that felt calculated. No, this is Stoko we're talking about, so maybe. Maybe she made him drink controlled laxatives to get him to use the bathroom at this exact moment, and while he was a long way off, shut up in the bathroom, our plan would begin. The opposing pitcher, Kameda, there he was. In front of the urinal, pleasantly taking care of business. Concerned. He thought it was only natural he would win at a grass lot game like this, and relax himself enough to... Maybe that was supposed to be his appeal. However, his relaxed state was itself our chance. Right now, you've already conceded to our club. I, too, casually walked into the bathroom. There were 3 urinals. Kameda was doing his business at the farthest one. I'm not sure if I want to be here right now. I went to the one... Normally you'd leave one open. Kameda seemed to notice me. I had stood right next to him after all. What? Look who it is. The big pinch hitter. He recalled seeing me swing the golf club around like an idiot, and he couldn't seem to resist the urge to laugh. I, however, wasn't frustrated in the slightest. The match had already been won the moment I arrived. The game had been decided as a big upset for our team. So now, all I had to do was push things along exactly how Stoko had planned. Hoo-hoo! I'm the one who should be laughing. It's an odd laugh. I wonder if Keiichi can do it. He'll be fine. I fucked up my voices real bad. When Keiichi is serious, he can do this much before something I skipped. Tomito and Okamura, our underclassmen, asked another question with much trepidation. Is Maebara really going to be able to beat that pitcher? You don't feel any confidence in Keiichi after being in the same class with him? Why is the audio stopped suddenly? No? Okay, how weird. It's just like decided I don't get music suddenly. Someday he could be strong enough to control all of humanity. Join Keiichi and you could easily rule the world. Hoo-hoo. There we go. Odd music stopped for some reason there. The world? Our teammates exchanged glances. Did Maebara really have such incredible strength? Just what kind of strength could that be? My question caused Kameda to stare in bewilderment, and for a moment he didn't know what to say. Sorry, I don't think I heard you right. Could you say that again? I smiled thinly, looking straight ahead, and said it once more, clearly. I'll say it one more time. Let us win. But right to the point. No threats or beating around the bush or anything. Kameda's brain couldn't figure out the meaning of what I'd said, and I could clearly tell he was confused. What are you, some kind of moron? Let you win? Are you insane? I relayed out demands. What's your reply? Yes or no? It goes without saying. Like hell I'll let you win. Is your brain broken? Kameda didn't hide his bewilderment. He didn't want to be around someone who would babble on like this for another second. Those thoughts spilled into his expression and he quickly moved to leave the bathroom. Kameda, what does victory mean for you? That's a dumb question. Priceless. Absolute supremacy. Nothing else can change it. He grinned lightly as he answered, as if to make fun of me. Hoo-hoo. How like a sportsman to say that? Victory decides all. No one can change that. Hoo-hoo. Of course not. No matter what kind of threats or bribes you come to me with, there's nothing valuable enough to make me a bat in victory. I was waiting for those words. I, after spinning around 3.5 times, pointed right at Kameda's face. Then don't you think you should ask? Something worth abandoning your precious victory for? What kind of compensation you could be given? Oh, what are you saying, stupid? There's nothing that could make me do that. Hoo-hoo. He was denying it, but he stopped. He stopped. He was waiting. He was waiting for me to present some attractive conditions. In a magazine interview, he said your favourite food's grilled meat and that you don't like sweets. But you lied about that, didn't you? What? For example, let's say you went to a grilled meat buffet. What exactly would be on your plate? Pork loin? Korean barbecue? A pile of beef tongue? Hoo-hoo. Coo-coo-coo. Coo-coo-coo. That wouldn't be it. You wouldn't bring meat with you. It'd be all the pudding and gelatin and cake you could eat. The kinds a girl would love. Pretty, cute, and sweet. You love Western treats like that, don't you? Kameda's face turned utterly pale. Our club already knew that he ate a mountain of desserts when he went to the grilled meat buffet, and we were well aware of his embarrassment at his weakness for sweets despite his age. Kameda couldn't possibly have known that the particular grilled meat buffet chan in Shishibono was owned by a member of the Sonozaki family. I have to be careful to go out when I go out to eat with my parents from now on. No! I love the hearty, bone-in. Nope. What you like is gentle, soft, cute piles of desserts topped with colourful creams. It almost makes you think of a girl, adorned in frills and ribbons, pure, ignorant of shame. Cute desserts like those girls, so clear and clean. Crunch, crunch, crunch. Cronkling my eyebrows. That's right, you eat desserts, but you don't love them. I don't like the music choice in the background here. Please, no more. My secret pleasure has been found out. Can't go on living. I have to die. You idiot. Don't lend your eyes so easily. Slam. I hit him on the side of the head as hard as I could. Kameda fell down. His eyes started watering and he broke down. I'm probably the only one in the world who thinks those things while eating desserts. Nothing but perv pretending to be a sportsman. That's right, you're a perv. This time I didn't hit him. Instead, I clapped my hands down on his shoulders. Don't cry, Kameda. What's wrong with a man being a perv? Many things. I'm not reading. A man. Admitting it sets a man apart from those below him. You've been honest to yourself. You can brag about that. You can be arrogant about it. You can be proud of yourself. Instead of blaming him, I told him to have pride in himself, and Kameda couldn't find his confusion. Well, what you showed me. Desserts are nothing but sweet foods after meals. That's what I thought this whole time, but I was mistaken, and you showed me that. Thanks to you, I can... That's in a completely different way. Shortcake. Kameda's throat cried out. Simplicity of strawberry shortcake, indeed. Somehow old-fashioned. Unorthodox. Please, but please keep this in the taste. That kind of honesty is. Cream decorations add up. Please translate girls as cake, alright? Keiichi seems to be talking about cake combination platters. Passionately? No, there is not. There is never... Basically, it's blackmail time. I'll say it one more time. Let us win. But that would... Then fine. I won't rely on you. I rejected Kameda outright and turned on my heel. Enough. We've lost this game. It's over. I don't care about it anymore. Instead, once this game is over, why don't I head down to Angel Mall and get one of those, get all you can eat of those lovely young ladies' cake decorated like Western dolls and frills and ribbons. Tonight will be the greatest feast I've ever known. All you can eat? Despite this being the bathroom, Kameda put both his hands on the floor. Gross. What's wrong? What's wrong, Kameda? If you have something to say, then say it. This is the first time I met someone like you. What are you waiting for, tiny man? I already said. Admitting your entitled to pride. Reach out your hand and show me how great you really are. Don't touch his hand, it's been on the floor. At the moment, don't touch anyone ever. No physical interaction allowed. When we exchange the most floor hands. Absolutely fucking not. Definitely not bog floor hands. My man who went from the restaurant forevermore was born. He would eventually write in his autobiography that our meeting this day was fate, but none of that had anything to do with this. Then, until later, for now, just play the game the way I described. With that, I turned on my heel and made to leave the bathroom, but then Kameda stopped me. Wait, at least tell me your name. Who, me? My name is Keiichi Maebara. No, kind of didn't feel like using my real name. Anyway, maybe I should lie to him and use a code name. Just call me Kay. Kay. Wait, was that actually an embarrassing name? I left the bathroom behind me at a quick pace, hiding my embarrassment. From what I heard later, I apparently looked quite gallant coming out like that. Stoko to Keiichi. How did things go? Keiichi to Stoko? Negotiations successful. Sounded on he and I getting all you can eat dessert at Angel Mall. Me on, no problem, right? 2 guests for Angel Mall? What's all you can eat dessert? Roger that. I'll set it up. I'm actually quite interested in how you negotiated with them. They had a really fun talk about how delicious dessert is, probably. That's definitely what it was, Raina. It definitely wasn't a bunch of skeevy dialogue that I decided to skip over. After that, the game started again. I entered the batter's box as a pinch hitter and placed the Mion, but all of the pieces were already in place. The straight pitch whipped by me like a bullet, true to its name. The camera people raised their voices in wonder and clicked their shutters. A sharp pitch as always. He's really going places this summer, isn't he? The golf club pinch hitter is standing straight up too. But doesn't Kameda look a little strange? It's like he's got a cold sweat. Patted my shoulders from my back, then sneered at him in a relaxed voice. What's wrong, Kameda? Not feeling well today? Oh, I couldn't swing at the ball because I was too busy laughing at it. Was that all you got? Ah, you little... Next pitch, with the same incredible speed as before, it curved sharply and should have thrown off the batter's skill. But Keiichi didn't move at all. Just watched coolly. Don't need any little tricks on a straight pitch, Kameda. Do people fall for these curves a lot? Batters around here, that is. Both the reporters and all the people watching noticed something strange here. Was Oshima's Kameda the pitcher who conquered Koshien, losing the mental battle? The next straight pitched incredible speed again, but it went a little wild. It was a ball. I snorted, not even bothering to get ready for it. What, Kameda? Scared of going right down the middle? Everyone calls you the best. You'd never walk the batter. Shit. The abnormal, unexpected situation spread confusion throughout the reporters. What is he? Who is this Keiichi Maebara? How can he be so relaxed when faced with that supreme fastball? He's just bluffing. He knows he can't win. Kameda would never throw a ball that an insincere guy like that could hit. No, I don't think it's a bluff. They said at a high level you can see right through others. Kameda is without a doubt one of the best, which must mean he can see through to that mysterious man's true value. A really business person looking like guy took off sunglasses and gazed upon Keiichi. Huh, is this, could it be idiot pinch hitter who came in cheering him on with the golf club was actually a genius? I'm sure baseball has long since lost its charm for him, and now he's trying to switch over to golf. Genius slugger making a transfer into the golf world? What a tremendous loss for baseball. Stop the presses. We're changing up our sports column. Boom. Ball. Now it's a full count. Success in production was, of course, all being dramatised by Stoko. The big shots constantly had their eyes on Kameda. If he were to lose easily, they knew the match would have to be fixed. Perhaps she wanted this little player fast to create a mood where it wouldn't be strange for Kameda to lose, but... Stoko? Isn't this going too far? Oh, do your best now, Keiichi. Today this game, tomorrow all of baseball. I don't want any scouts actually coming after me. I'm terrified of what would happen when the jig is up. Wait, I can't be making nervous faces right now. Ball, base on balls. Have you gotten scared, Kameda? I thought you were better than this. Kameda hung his head in feigned dejection. Kei-san, I did this all according to plan, right? Yeah, well done, Kameda. Keep going like this for the next batter. Let's wrap this thing up and then... we'll go get all we can eat. Kameda and I exchanged evil smiles. For some reason, there were all the camera flashes right then. It seemed like our dear journalist friends took it as two worthy smiles, smiling to acknowledge each other's strength. As I trotted over to first base, the camera flashes continued almost to the point where they were annoying. When I got to first base, one of the reporters came over for an interview. Maebara, do you plan on settling the score with Kameda and Koshien? Things seem like they're about to get big for me. Maybe I should just be honest and confess I'm not really into baseball. Koshien? I've never been interested in Japanese baseball. Sorry. Whoa. This man, right from the start, he was always aiming for the world. Might become Japan's first ever big leaguer. What? The conversation was getting fantastically out of hand. Oh, I don't care anymore. I'll strike a guts pose for the cameras in desperation. Yes, Keiichi got on base just as planned. Next, Satoko was at bat. What will she do? What will she do? Alright then, time to get that walk-off home run and win it all. Satoko stepped up to the plate, waving the bat around. Porters couldn't hold back their laughter, maybe because they'd just seen his battle with me. Upstairs says, yell! Maebara finally got on base, but now it's all over. I guess so. So this is why Kameda intentionally walked him. He didn't even fight it. He waited for an easier opponent for the final out. But to avoid a direct confrontation like that, we cannot make light of him. That Keiichi Maebara. Alright, come on now, Kameda. You making fun of me? Who do you think I am, anyway? No. Maebara was one thing, but you think I'll lose to the light of you? Whenever this girl stepped up to the bat, she swung wildly and missed, striking out every time. Might sound rude, but however much Kameda holds back, I don't think she'll be able to hit a home run. could hear the reporters declaring there was no way a comeback would happen. That call it a comeback. Wait, what? Satoko? She swung wildly and missed every single time she swung up the bat. Boom. She swung after the sound had ended, completely mistiming it. Could hear disappointed voices coming from those rooting for Hinamizawa. It's only natural. Every single batter struck out. Even if worst came to worst, no one would get a hit. And that's why it didn't sound strange when Kameda said this. I can't take it seriously with someone like you. I'll give you a chance. I'll throw the next one slow and underhanded. I'll let you get a hit or two so you can go home and brag to Mummy. Of course, these lines were all part of the plot too. From out the corner of his eye, Kameda gives me a look. Was that alright? Yeah, you did great. Looked very natural. Kameda, you're a splendid actor. No, compared to Kei-san, I'm nothing. Even that exchange was seen as heated and enthusiastic by the reporters. But Kei, however slowly I pitch, can this girl really hit it? Don't worry, and throw the ball like we planned. I think I've got a good idea of how this will turn out. Our exchange over, Kameda moved from a set position into a pitching stance. Aha! This is the artwork that's everywhere. Come then, throw your merciful pitch. I'll hit a huge home run off of it. She struck her every time she was at bat. When I heard that, my vague ideas became firm beliefs, and out of Kameda's hands comes a slow, lazy pitch, as though they were playing catch. Normal people would probably be able to hit it, but for Satoko, who'd been striking out the whole time, just when people started to think that way, the members of our club had already realised that Satoko's trap had begun. It was true. Striking out constantly today had all been laying the groundwork for this moment. An act. Or to make it feel like Kameda letting off the gas wasn't strange at all, which meant, in other words, that Satoko... Crack. Whoa, she got it. Look at it go. I don't even need to run, do I? Oh. Super huge home run Satoko hit disappeared over the roof of the school. The reporters lost their words at the sight, and then roars of applause. Despite this being what we'd anticipated, I can't help but stare in mute amazement at this gorgeous home run. Satoko strutted over to first base. Come on, what are you doing, Keiichi? Second base is that way. Satoko, you're really good at baseball. Satoko grinned, showing her fang-like canines in reply. Couldn't think of it. She played baseball a lot with Tomita and the others during lunch, didn't she? The fact that was invited her to play meant she was by no means bad at it. Are you purposefully struck out all those times, since before Kameda even got it? Jeez, you've really got something for every occasion. I say this all the time, do I not? I only have one trap. When everything is about to come to a conclusion, it's enough that I don't even have to worry. Damn it, sounded kinda cool. Basically, she's just bragging about hitting the ball, but once Toko did it, it looks so cool. Recalled home plate in order, me, then Toko, and completed our walk-off home run. Our teammates welcomed us back with their blessings. Meipara, that was amazing, totally cool. I never thought it would happen. Tomita and Okamura praised me. How about that, Tomita, Okamura? Turned things around just fine. Reina thinks you were cool too. Good work. Ha, it was nothing. Briskly clapped my hands against Reina's outstretched palm. Satoko did brilliantly too. She gave us a spectacular ending. Who do you think I am? Man, can't underestimate her. Satoko Hojo. Keiichi was great too. Winning Kameda over like that? He is a magician of words. Rika, I don't think that's a compliment. But really, only Keiichi could have pulled off such a drastic move. I wouldn't have been able to do it myself. I'd very much like you to teach me sometime. Satoko learned such displays of power? That's terrifying to even imagine. Prefer it if you didn't mimic me. After declaring the match over, the umpire came to us. Well, I never. You actually won. I'm shocked. We said Satoko could hit it, didn't we? You didn't believe us at all. The umpire scratched his head apologetically and apologised to Satoko, smiling dryly. And Keiichi was amazing too, wasn't he? Keiichi's actually the most reliable person here. Well, when I saw him coming with that golf club, I certainly had my doubts, but that breathtaking battle against Kameda had me on the edge of my seat. Right, that breathtaking farce. Quirked a wry smile. Not even the Buddha would have realised that while everyone thought this was a fair match, Kameda and I were thinking about our evil, dessert-eating ways. Eating. Excuse me, coach? You remember your promise, do you not? Yeah, this is... guess I have no choice. We did it. Keiichi, this means we're having a barbecue meetup tomorrow. Reina clapped her hands and we all began to dance with joy. Tomita and our other teammates were jumping up and down too. What's that about? A barbecue meetup? Hey, wait, what on earth are you talking about? Oh. We made a promise that if we won today's game, he'd treat us to a barbecue party with all sorts of high-class meats. Wasn't looking good for a while when Kameda appeared, but thanks to Keiichi, we've won that privilege. I see, so that's what this is about. Certainly not a game we could have lost. Hiri's big wallet will be sad. So sad. You're right about that, but I did make a promise. When we eat, we do without any mercy. We need to feed our growing bodies after all. Haha. Alright, everyone, tomorrow we dine like kings. Yeah. All of the members of the Hinamizawa fighters raised their fists high in the air and cheered. Rika was petting the head of the Empire, who was smiling painfully at the off-kilter remarks. He gave her his head and looked like he was about to cry. Looked like the price of victory would be pretty big. You beat me, but I have no choice since I promised. Guess I should go shopping for some meat. Meat. Coach, get some grade A beef like you promised. We won't forgive you if you buy nothing but vegetables to keep it cheap. Umpire, whom they were calling Coach, grinned dryly, crestfallen. Umpire? Coach? Uniform he was wearing had Hinamizawa fighters written on it. Oh, so he's not just the Umpire. He was actually our team's coach. Hey Para, is that alright? Can I call you that? Huh? Yeah. This comeback wouldn't have happened were it not for you getting on base. Please, come to tomorrow's barbecue. No, besides that, would you please consider joining the team? If you were with us, we could dominate the whole prefecture. Coach, let's leave that aside for now. You should be more worried about your wallet. Ho ho. Despite the coach being an adult, everyone seemed to get along very well with him. Coach, huh? Pleased to meet your acquaintance. I'm Yurio, coach of the Hinamizawa fighters. He extended his hand to me. Finally grabbed it with my own in reply. I'm Meibara, nice to meet you. Then the coach took his other hand and began to stroke mine softly. What smooth hands you have. Such narrow grain, and you truly take good care of them. Hey, wait. My strictly instructor. What are you talking about? Who the hell is this guy? You look so flustered. Our coach is a little strange, but he's really funny, you know? I feel like you couldn't measure him by saying strange or funny. Really didn't think we'd get along. The other self of my mind made it witty retort for some reason. Come on, settle down already. You're making Keiichi uncomfortable. The coach didn't try to take his hands off mine until Stoker hit him with a threefold washbucket attack, causing him to faint. I wonder what the new thing we've discovered about ourselves is. That we can play baseball, or so I was going to say that we can play baseball or we have soft hands. It was a peaceful lunch break. Thud, clatter, splash. What was that? I just heard something really loud from the hallway. What was it? What was it? We rushed into the hallway, and to our surprise, Coach was there with the water bucket overturned on his head. Coach, you okay? Man, you sure got me. Hello, everyone. Coach greets us, cool and calm. What's going on, Coach? You don't come to school very much. Well, I do come here once a week as part of my job. Had been quiet here for a while, but I totally get my guard down. Stoko's little tricks always come when you least expect them. Will you be okay in those clothes? Oh, I'm fine. I was just thinking of taking a nice bath, so this is actually cooling me off. You sure are calm, Coach. In fact, you never get mad. Really makes you come off as an adult. She was right. If I were Coach, I'd have started running around with the bucket still on my head looking for her. His adult way of not getting mad at every little child's prank was admirable. Listen, Meibara, with things like this, changing your perspective just a little can make it either irritating or pleasant. It's about how you react to it. If there's some trick to staying so calm after getting hit in the head with a bucket filled with water, then I'm begging you, tell me. For example, say there was this old and traditional family, dating back to the Meiji era. Okay. Let's say they had many maids under their employ. Being a large house, of course they have all kinds, from the veterans who turn mean and don't want to give up the jobs to the young ones full of energy. See, can you imagine that? With everything they do? What? What's upside down the maid? She's soaking wet. Wants to cry but put on the brave face. Oh, I don't get it, but it sounds fun. Jeez, stop. You've even infected Reina. And you, Keiichi, don't go getting lost forever in Coach's world. Poor Mion's the only sensible one here. If not for this character trait, Coach would be a good person too. And calling Mion sensible is just, it hurts. One Stoko Hojo sighted. I say, Stoko, what is this? Say, look at all this dust. I say. What? Yeah. Stoko, you're so cute. So can put traps together with such brilliant predictions. It's so strange how she can't predict the very end, though. Is it? I think Stoko... What? What do you mean by that? When she plays pranks on people like this, they always get mad and chase her around. Don't you think it's like a form of communication? Sounds like a terrible way to communicate. Don't people normally say hello to each other? Oh, Keiichi, haven't you heard of it before? People who play lots of pranks are actually very lonely and want people to pay attention to them. Rina gave a cool smile and laughed abruptly, explaining. That's what I mean. Stoko plays a trick on someone, she wants them to get mad or laugh and chase her. It's kind of like a kitty biting you softly. Don't you think it's cute? Rina with the abrupt, deep insight. They'll definitely be surprised right here and jump backwards. So if I put it in this spot, it'll definitely work for certain. Stoko, regaling us with a trap philosophy, was improving the already brutal trap hell on the mountain. If Reina was right and her traps to get people to pay attention to her, then all of these traps in the mountain were basically a crystallized form of those feelings. Alone with Rika, setting up trap after trap in the mountains, always waiting for someone to fall into them. But nobody needed to come to this mountain in the first place. Without doubt, she and Rika had spent a lot of time imagining how victims caught in their traps would react. Stoko, separated for so long from her brother Nini, Satoshi. With her stubbornness, she never once said she wanted him to come home, but all the traps sleeping on the mountain told me how Stoko really felt. Keiichi, are you listening? Oh, sorry about that. What did you say? All you have to do is pound one nail into the tree trunk like this, and it's already a great trap. If you trip up right here and smack your forehead into it, it would really hurt. A human hammer pushing a nail into your forehead, that sounds painful. If it was someone really evil, this trap could put them to death. I do so look forward to seeing what sort of villain gets caught by it. Why do you keep glancing at me like that? You saying you want me to fall for it? I could get really badly hurt, you know? Maybe you shouldn't be using this trap. Is that so? Well, it is true that I can't use traps without love behind them. Then I'll just move this nail here so that if the villain really forms their behaviour, they won't get caught by it. Stoko immersed herself in adjusting the nail's position. Traps of love, huh? Maybe Coach was right. Just by reacting a little differently, everything changes. Come to think of it, maybe you can feel humour and warmth even when Stoko's traps get you. All finished. Now it's absolutely perfect where it is. What do you think, Keiichi? Yeah, it's perfect. I hope a villain comes along and gets caught by this trap. Oh, no, of course it'd be better if that didn't happen. Looked a little painful, but I considered coming here sometime and getting caught in it. Oh, oddly heartwarming. God, my foot's completely gone to sleep. That feel when you sit like a gremlin and then suffer for it. Let's keep going. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Sorry, I'm just doing some brief counting. Alright then, I'm off. Look out for cars. Be back before dinner time. Today was the day of the barbecue party that was the Hinamizawa Fighters' victory celebration. Of course, I hadn't prepared myself to skip breakfast in order to stay hungry. Though with all the club members coming, it was pretty possible there'd be a contest based on how fast or how much you could eat. Reina was already at our usual meeting place. Mion arrived a few minutes later. Great! Let's get going. This old man skipped breakfast and is starving to the death. I expected nothing less. I too went without breakfast and am now in top physical condition. Wow, you two, skipping breakfast is bad for your health. Reina made sure to eat something. Don't tell me, I skip breakfast so much since I started working from home. Really bad habit. Yeah, you're great, Reina. Breakfast is an important part of the day. I'm sure you'll surpass that unhealthy Mion. Get yourself a nice springy body. What? and white horse will come for Reina too? Definitely not happening. If you won't take responsibility for them, Keiichi, then don't give Reina any silly ideas. She might start eating breakfast 3 times a day starting tomorrow. Yeah, I could see Reina doing that. Wait, who did this gluttonous princess think was going to come for her? Well, anyway, we're all nice and hungry. Let's go and treat ourselves at the big barbecue party. Yeah! The venue for said barbecue was to be the Furude Shrine Grounds, where Rika lived. They held events and festivals there, and barbecues too. It was a place that held all sorts of ceremonies in Hinamizawa. Come to think of it, there was supposed to be a big village festival coming up, wasn't there? Tatarigoroshi or something. Wonk. Cotton drifting or gut spilling. I've forgotten what the translation for Tatarigoroshi was, but it was something equally horrifying. The scenery you could see from that high up was fairly superb, and the calm atmosphere particular to shrines was something fairly difficult to find in the city. We left our bicycles at the bottom of the shrine steps and broke into a mad dash up the stairs. When we arrived on the shrine grounds, the Hinamizawa fighters and their fathers had already gathered and begun setting up for the barbecue early. Of course, Toko and Rika were there as well. When they noticed our arrival, they waved to us. Oh, so you managed not to forget about this. Curses, if you all hadn't come, there would have been that much more meat for me. How truly disappointing it is. You underestimate us, Toko. Now that we've arrived, you don't think you'll be able to have even one bite of that fabulously marbled beef, do you? Remember when we ate our bento here? You and I have a fatal difference in reach. I'll soon be overwhelming you once again. What? I cannot allow that to happen by any means. Cry and shout all you want, you'll just be watching us fill our mouths with beef. Don't worry though, I will give the peppers and onions to you. I smell like beef. I'll give Stoko lots and lots of the grilled squash too. When Stoko heard the word squash, her complexion changed colour. When she took my overwhelming reach into account, she knew it wasn't just a threat, it could actually happen. I'll go tell the coach. I'll tell him you really love squash. If it's for you, I'll bet a whole mountain of specialty squash from all over Japan. Wow, good for you, Stoko. You'll have your pick of the squash. You can have squash from dawn till dusk, 3 meals a day. Ha! Reina, everyone's bullying me. Bully. Stoko tried to leap into Reina's chest. Oh no, clearly, given another second, Reina's Mach punches would have us piled on the ground. So just before Stoko hit Reina, I grabbed her by the nape of the neck and pulled her back. Superb reaction with only seconds of foresight. At least it was supposed to be. But for Reina, when I caught her leaping, crying Stoko, it looked like I was keeping her to myself. Bam bam. No, Keiichi. This is Reina's, okay? I'm taking her home. Wow, Reina. Beat up Mio and Rika like that too. Whoa, hold on there. Ah. Bam bam. Okay, now where could Rika be? There she is. Reina, over there. Just wait, Satoko. I'll take care of her right away. Then I'm bringing you straight home. Satoko, you're mean. Oh, Rika's so cute too. Oh, I'm gonna take her home. Oh, Rika? Serves you right. Satoko laughed in a shrill voice at Rika's and Reina's unproductive game of tag while we watched them sprawled out on the ground. Are you alright, Maebara? Sonozaki? The coach came over and lent us a hand. Lip balm break, very important. Yeah, this is just how we communicate, that's all. Don't mind us. If the way we communicate ends up leaving bruises on my face, then I don't want any more to do with it. You never learn, do you? Laughed the coach loudly. It made us start to laugh too. Stoko's laughter, Rika's yelling, and Reina's strange voice were kind of comfortable to hear. So bright, my eyes hurt. The adults here knew what they were doing, so the barbecue was ready in short order. As the salad oil dripped down onto the plate with a hiss, there was a loud cheer. When the coach brought over a plate with all the meat on it, we cheered again. Oh, I want a barbecue! Well, this meat looks amazing. Coach, you really did splurge on it. I did make a promise. Can you tell how much of all of this weighs? Really did cost me a lot. Of course it did. Third-rate meat wouldn't be enough of a reward for everything I did yesterday. Yeah, Stoko's definitely the guest of honor today. Yeah, Stoko was the one who hit that last home run after all. She might have caught the guy off guard, but the arc flew was long and true. Stoko was pretty athletic. Not bad at all. She could be one of the best of our generation. She doesn't fall behind in physical ability even compared to me. Maybe Stoko has a big future in the world of sports. Oh, stop singing my praises. You're making me blush. Mensch, mensch. Monch, monch. Stoko, over whom the excessive praise made her not notice the moderately grilled meat being stolen one after the other, was just far too cute. Maebara, this is heavy. Tomitaka and Okamura were carrying something over to us. It was a huge barbecue plate.
It's
John. Hi, Hakun. Thank you very much for the host. It is very much appreciated. I hope you're doing well. I hope you've been having a good day. And taking care of yourself. All you've missed so far, we had a baseball game, and we won through cheating. And now we are enjoying a barbecue put on by the coach as congrats for us winning. And that's the story so far. Whoa, the barbecue's protagonist has arrived. The plate was chock full of skewers with vegetables and meat on them. Grilled, burning hot meat juices made a shh noise as they sizzled off. You need a lot of heart for cooking something on a metal skewer, so they grilled the whole plate, so they grilled the whole plate at once. Yep, can't have a barbecue without some of these. Can say that again. I'll help out, so let's get it over there. Up we go. Wow, look, it's amazing. Everyone greeted us with a cheer. I don't like meat skewers because they tend to be made with peppers, which are a vegetable that I cannot stand and actually make me kind of sick to my stomach. So actually I don't really like cooked vegetables. I really don't like roast vegetables, so meat skewers are alright as long as they're just meat and nothing else on there. Otherwise it just ruins the flavour. Even if you don't eat the vegetables, you can still taste them. I'm not a vegetable person. I'm not a rabbit. Everyone greeted us with a cheer. Sorry, I'm like wiped out all of a sudden, so I'm just like, ugh. Okay, it's all brain all around the place. That's what I'm looking for. Each person received a skewer with vegetables and big pieces of meat on it. They also received paper cups filled to the brim with juice. In my right hand were pounds of piping hot barbecue, and the left was a cup of juice that I could chug down. If this didn't make you want to dance, you weren't a man. A friend of mine has a brilliant story about this. She was at an event with her family, and they had put out these drinks, and they had orange squash for the kids, and orange squash with some kind of liqueur in it, like screwdrivers almost, for the adults. The problem is because it all just looked like orange squash. You know, she'd been running around as a kid with some of the other kids. Came back to the table and just picked up the first drink she saw, which was like a screwdriver, took a big swig of it, and spat it out everywhere. Because lo, it was not orange squash. I can't hold back any longer. I'm gobbling it down. Gobble gobble. Not just yet, Keiichi. We've got a little ceremony first. Can I have your attention, everyone? The coach, with a cup of beer in his hand, mounted the nearby beer cooler. It's supposed to be a victory celebration after all. We needed an opening statement. Damn, I hope it ends soon. For every second this goes on, a little more of the food's freshness got away. Whoa. Stoko stomped down with the back of my foot. My word, men your age are so greedy. Can you not wait a little more elegantly? Is everything I'm thinking really showing on my face? Okay, is everyone listening? We won a huge game yesterday. It became a hard battle after that amazing pitch came in, but thanks to the equal and reliable saviours on our side, we scored a beautiful turnaround victory. Clap, clap, clap. Both my hands are full, so the adults and older brothers gave us a round of applause. This is to celebrate that victory. As promised, I got a ton of delicious meat for everyone. Eat as much as you want and use that energy on our next game. Meat, 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 meat. Then, after a few words of thanks to the fathers and brothers who helped with the barbecue, he led us in a toast. Kampai. They say that when toasting you'd normally down the contents of your cup, but we were young. At the toast, all of us immediately begin to tea into our skewers. Why not? Why not have like a skewer toast? After that it got really lively, with everyone congratulating one another for the things they did during the game. Like how someone made a great catch or how awesome someone looked when stealing a base. Of course they congratulated me too, the saviour who appeared to fight against the Koshien pitcher. Well, even what I did was all thanks to Stoko. Stoko did have a plan, but you're the only one who could have won over Kameda like you did, Keiichi. You did more than enough to deserve praise. By the way, Keiichi, you went to eat cake with Kameda after that, didn't you? You looked like you were best friends. The seeds of friendship sprouting between male rivals. Something like that? Sort of, well, it's alright, Raina. I was also thinking, I'm sure I've read a fanfiction like that. In fact, I know I have. I violently brushed through Raina's hair as she turned red in the face for some reason at the mention of friendship between men, dispersing her pleasant-seeming ideas. Now then, where's the hero, or rather the heroine, Satoko? Oh, there she is. Satoko was with Rika in the middle of bragging her heart out about the home run yesterday, and her teammate spared no compliment for her, since even though she was going easy on her, the fact that she hit a throw from a Koshien pitcher was something else. Satoko was more loquacious than usual. Seems she's in a great mood. She was flying so high that I thought for a moment about getting a word in to tease her, but she was a leading actress today, so I decided not to bully her at all. As I watched Satoko going at things as lively as usual under the sun, it struck me that it didn't quite line up with the pleasant time I'd spent with her. But both of those were the real Satoko. I didn't care which it was, her smiling happily or making a big lively fuss like this. Just as long as she keeps smiling like this forever. Ha! Sad honks. She looks like she's having fun. Quite a lot of it. Coach had approached me from behind before I realised it. As he gazed at Satoko from afar like I'd been doing, he addressed me. So I could tell he's talking about her. Doesn't it just cleanse your soul to see Satoko smiling? He smiled, refreshed, searching for confirmation. Felt a bit embarrassed to admit it, so against my better judgment, I played it off. Really? I don't think a smile could cleanse so much as a plate. I'm sure Satoko would be mad if she heard that, but that part of her is very cute too. Leaving her cuteness aside, I can understand him thinking Satoko getting angry for being teased would be funny. Mr. Iria, was it? It's Iria. Everyone else calls me Coach though. I'd be very happy if you called me Coach as well, Maebara. As he said that, Coach Iria smiled, blushing a little. Coach, she seemed to like Satoko a lot. Didn't have any real basis for saying that. It was just what I felt to be true. Yes, I do like her. I love her, in fact. When she gets older? God, really says some insane stuff, doesn't he? I had to put my mind back in order. This coach guy was the kind of person who said crazy things out of nowhere. According to Mion, if I took everything he said seriously, I physically wouldn't be able to take it. I was able to ignore that part of him. He seemed like he'd be a really funny guy. Maebara, did that surprise you? Could it be you're going after Satoko yourself? Bother me then. Coach, Satoko hasn't been alive for much more than a decade. Coach gave a dry grin and laughed. Was this how I should be doing it? Must somehow master the art of responding to this coach guy. Just seems like a weirdo and kind of creepy if you ask me. After that, I received many words of praise for my actions, almost too many. As that conversation was happening, leaving aside the controversial statements this coach person would spout suddenly, I learned he was very composed and not a bad guy by any stretch. Still, I think Satoko deserves more praise for that crazy home run she got. I honestly didn't think she had it in her. Satoko's older brother was more the quiet bookworm type. She probably inherited the exact opposite skill set. Her brother? Right, he meant Satoshi. The one who left Satoko and ran away from home. Satoko's Nini. Satoshi Hojo. Do you not know about him? Satoko's older brother, I mean. His name is Satoshi Hojo, and he played with the Hinamizawa fighters too. I wanted him to play a lot more, but then he transferred. Huh, I see. So he transferred. Yeah, maybe that was a little more considerate than saying he ran away. Now that you mentioned it, I think it was Reina. I think she said Satoshi transferred too. I didn't know the details of her having run away from home at the time, so I didn't pay much attention to it, but... Only her brother transferred? That's sort of unusual. Everyone having fun was far away, their cheerful voices distant. The chorus of the cicada separated us from them, giving me a sense of distance. At first I thought my own voice was too soft for even me to hear, but for a really long time, Coach didn't respond to my words, so at this point I began to wonder if I'd said something I shouldn't have. Just when I began to feel impatient, Coach finally spoke. Something unfortunate happened. A few things, actually. After informing me that what he was about to say was a secret, Coach began to talk a little at a time. It's been 3 years already. Right around this time of year, I think. Satoko's parents were in an accident. An accident? Yes. At a public park they visited while on vacation, they fell from a viewing platform. It was supposed to just be a tiny little time away from the house with the family. They went for a walk on a path through a nature park after it had rained. There was a little viewing platform that looked like it had a good view. That was the stage on which the tragedy was set. The metal fixtures in the viewing platform had deteriorated from time. With all the rain they'd just gotten, they might have loosened somewhat. Right before Satoko's eyes, both the fence and her parents fell. There was a river some tens of metres below. The water level was high due to the rain, and apparently very muddy. And her parents? Coach gave a thin but melancholic smile and touched his paper cup to his lips. Without saying anything, I knew how unfortunate the accident was and how Stoko's parents had left on an eternal vacation. Then Stoko is, well, so focused on being careful on my words that I forgot what I was going to say. A single word, orphaned. I knew how little consideration it showed and how much it would hurt Stoko without having to say it out loud. Couldn't think of it. Stoko lived with Rika, at least that's what I thought I heard from the others. Wait, Rika, her father died from illness too, and her mother soon after. Felt like I heard she was living by herself. Yes, she's living with Frude right now. They probably lived many discouraging days without any parents, but they've gotten along by helping each other. Going on living without the protection of parents is very difficult for kids that age, I think. Maybara, you can probably understand that as well. I've only survived because I rely on my parents, so the only reply I could give was to nod. Frude is particularly beloved by the older people in the village. As long as she's here, she won't want for much. Come to think of it, you're right. Rika kinda seems like the village mascot sometimes. I don't think she'd have a hard time living here. Rika could go meep just once and get 2 or 3 croquettes from a vendor after all. Felt like if she asked for help, everyone in the village would. That only applies to Frude in particular. Stoko doesn't have it the same way. Rika being so spoiled was just an exception. Upon thinking about it normally, living on your own as a child should be fraught with difficulty. It wasn't then very difficult to imagine how much suffering Stoko had to go through just to live. It wasn't very difficult to imagine. Was I really thinking that? No, I was only thinking the words. Couldn't imagine it in the slightest. How was I supposed to imagine it when I saw that annoying smile of hers? There was no way I could. Found out she was living apart from her brother, and I just kind of vaguely thought that it was rather unfortunate. I mean, Stoko was smiling so energetically every single day. Was I thinking that her smiling meant she wasn't hurt? Ow! Sorry, I just whacked my leg against the desk. I'm trying to think. So Stoko's parents passed away, and she moved in with her aunt and Satoshi. And then Rika's parents passed away, and then the year after that, Satoshi's aunt passed away, and her brother rather went missing. So, yeah. I suppose she moved in with Rika after that. Was I thinking that her smiling meant she wasn't hurt? That she didn't feel lonely? When she found out my parents were coming home the other night, Satoko said, "A family sitting around the dinner table is the most fun way to enjoy a meal of all." Those words had a lot more weight now. I've seriously considered adopting her. Huh? Adoption? It's a secret. After warning me, Coach put his index finger to his lips. I lived a really steady life all these years. I own property and I have credit, but marriage is the one thing I never got around to. By law, obviously a single individual can't adopt a child, so I can't make Satoko my adopted daughter. What a shame. Didn't take long for my plan to get her to call me Papa. This guy spouts some crazy stuff. First I was only half listening, but midway through I realised how rude that was. This Coach person seriously only wished for this one girl, Satoko, to be happy. That was neither crazy nor was it nonsense. He just wanted her to be happy. He's also creepy, nonetheless. Those were his true feelings. Of creepiness. Satoko's current lifestyle is probably not a very happy one, but, you know, I want to make it easier for her, even if it's only a little. Haha, of course I can't do much for her, but share my leftover food and she's not strong enough to do. You're wrong, Satoko's happy. Huh? Coach so surprised by having declared that. There are so many people all around her that really want her to be happy. I still find it creepy, but that's also solidly, like, just my thinking. You know, it's definitely a your mileage may vary situation. She can't possibly feel otherwise. I spoke with a serious expression quietly, but firmly all the same. It was my approval of his feelings and my gratitude to Satoko's Nini. Ow. Thank you. Still, keep this a secret from Satoko, okay? If she knew I wanted to adopt her, she'd probably get mad and call me, yell at me. I wonder. Satoko may have been somewhat childish, but she's still able to empathise with people. She'd call him that. I knew it. As if my feelings had gotten across, Coach grinned, satisfied, and returned his gaze to the hustle and bustle before us. Her parents and her older brother. She lost a family, had no relatives, and was huddled up with Rika, who was in the same situation. Satoko Hojo. It wouldn't be odd for her to look at life with despair, but she didn't seem to feel that way. She lived energetically with a smile. I want her to keep smiling forever. It was a naive wish, and yet it was the one that he couldn't help hoping for. So the words that I spoke were the same. What a coincidence. I think the same way. Oh, you too, Maybara? And that makes us friends. Let's make a promise. Ooh, okay. A promise? It's a very simple one, the coach said, giving me a grin. That will never ever make her cry. It was short and to the point. Yeah, I promise too. I don't mind it like this, actually. I'd like a... Well, I know there's an option to turn all the dialogue off, but... That's how it be. Not dialogue, sorry, the turn UI off. Yeah, I don't mind it like this. I'm used to it like this, so I'm not fussed. We exchanged no more words after that. We just sat there comfortably, gazing at Stoko and everyone else having a good time. She'd certainly lost family, but there were people watching over her. How reassuring must that have been? Just hypothetically, if you did adopt Stoko, what would you do? It's a tough one. Coach gave a wry, happy smile that exaggerated, tilted his head in contemplation. What? How does this guy always pick the craziest time to say the craziest things? Maybara? Well, I haven't said anything yet. What are you talking about? I heard it loud and clear. Oh, that's right. I clearly said I'd put Stoke on... what? What? Shion, why? Get it. To enable us to only use things for their intended purpose after all. That's right. Keiichi, you do understand. Then that's time for... My hand shot out and grabbed Shion, smiling, waving, and about to leave by the nape of her neck. Hey, wait right there. Don't just show up out of nowhere and start saying crazy stuff. Speaking of saying crazy stuff, I thought the Stoko love talk you were having with the coach was pretty crazy too. Can perform reenact me the adoption bit. Want to see? You've been hiding ever since then? Keiichi, you can't even beat my sister. You're 100 years too early to challenge me. This was Shion Sonozaki, the younger of the Sonozaki twins, though she hadn't scrapped the reserve quality you'd expect from little sister. She was a villain no better than her older sister, Mion. We met the other day in town and I dug myself into a hole when I mistook her for Mion. Unlike Mion, Shion said she was living in Okonomiya, so I thought we'd never see each other again, but I think we actually would. My frankly displeased expression didn't change a bit either. This must be what people mean when they say something's like water off a duck's back. Shion, you came. Wink. I was disappointed because I thought you wouldn't make it. Well, I couldn't think of anything else to do, really. I figured I'd come and tease you all a little. Coach, why do you need to call Shion to our victory celebration? How did she contribute to our team's win? Well, you see? I'm actually the manager for the Hinamizawa Fighters. The manager? No way, then why weren't you at the game yesterday? That's because I'm like a ghost manager. She seemed to think I'd forgive her if she stuck her tongue out and smiled. She wasn't sorry at all. Sorry, I missed some of the dialogue there, I was checking something. The match wasn't nearly as pretty without you there. I won't tell you to come to practice, but couldn't you at least come to games to root for us like you used to? I'll think about it. Maybe I will if Keiichi joins the Hinamizawa Fighters. I can't get into a cheering mood when there's no good-looking guy on the team. What? Did Shion just smoothly say something so absurd? Shion! You little... Where did you come from? Suddenly Mion came running over, latched onto my shoulders and pulled me towards her. It's Mion's little sister. Hello, Shion. Hello, Reina. I'm honoured you remembered my name. We only met once. Oh, not at all. Thanks for remembering Reina's name too. Cut the stupid greetings. You're not allowed to solicit Keiichi. He's the hope of our club. Don't pull him out and put him in baseball like he's some kind of plant. Mion gave a low growl as she grappled my arm. She looked like a little girl desperately clinging to her toy. Yep, Keiichi is the star rookie of our club. We could never trade him away. Reina's smile hid a nonchalant bloodthirst. Hell yeah. She was blocking Shion's way, ready to unleash an ultimate attack if she got within 2 meters of me. I felt like this was going to turn into a bloody battle. That's too bad. We'll leave the negotiations for another time. You don't have the right to negotiate. Coach, why'd you call Shion here too? She's the ghost member. She's been slacking off for the last year. I just thought it'd be even more fun if Shion was here. Yep, it definitely worked. That was what he planned for all along. Mission accomplished. Hey, Keiichi, come over here. We're all playing a game. With strings attached, of course. Shion, how about you? The rules are simple and it'll be fun. Should I? I'll just win if I join, after all. I don't want to ruin my sister's presidential image. Mia, now irritated, turned around with a glare. What is it, my sister? Should I join in to make this a battle of the siblings? For your sake, I don't think we should, but if you want to... I won't let you play, Shion. We're leaving you out. There. Well, Mion just avoided direct confrontation. Seemed like the twins were completely incompatible with each other. You wouldn't let her play? I was looking forward to seeing you two face off. You can see them face off in the previous game where something terrible happens. I hate Shion. I'm bad against her. An angry Mion dragged me away. Slide. That's the sound effect of sliding. Do your best. I'll be rooting for you. Go for it, Keiichi. Yay. Shion waved her hands at us, reveling in the bliss of teasing Mion. Alright. Club activities had begun, which meant I needed to clear my mind. What was today's battle? Today's punishment game? I'd take anything on. Okay, Keiichi, you should prepare yourself. We're going all out today. Great, bring it on. Steko or not, I'll crush you all mercilessly. Really want ice cream. I've got ice cream in the fridge and I keep thinking about it. Reina will profit from your battle and fish herself up a win. Then I'll get all the manta rays first and ride to victory. Oh. Really gets flat like a manta ray. I want to take you home. Okay, everyone, we have a lot of people today, so let's play something easy and simple. Today's game is... Everyone who lost the game dropped out and had to help clean up after the barbecue. She laughed more appropriately than anyone I'd ever heard when she saw my loser face. Okay, was my getting bombed out of the game really that funny? Man, oh man, Keiichi's face. He was like, how can you still call yourselves human? Damn it, I had it all worked out when I brought up the scissors. If only Stoko and Rika hadn't betrayed me. It was going great while we maintained united front, but Stoko had been quicker to betray me than I her. She was just a teeny bit better than me. I warned you about trusting Hojo. Tomito and Nakamura were unanimously wearing I told you so faces. Incidentally, those two are victims of Stoko's traps pretty early on as well. Damn, I was trying to do well enough to make up for you two. And once again, for the showdown, it didn't matter. Maybe this meant I still couldn't match up to the other members yet. You were going to have the lowest ranked member of the club play a punishment game, weren't you? Chion remarked as though forcing me to recall something I tried to forget, even for a moment. Is that right? Come to think of it, Maebara, when you came up with the punishment game with the president, you looked really heated. What did you decide on? Earlier, Mion told me to get an Angel Moy uniform ready. Does that have anything to do with it? She told me to get the biggest size I could find. Tomito and Nakamura were giving me these complex, indescribable looks, mixing empathy, pity, and the desire to see something scary all at once. All I could do now was laugh. Strangely enough, the more I laughed, the more I felt like it was actually funny. I lost. Oh my, Maebara, what's the matter? You're smiling, crying, and howling. It's okay, he's just pretending not to like it. He can't hide his excitement at the opportunity to gain valuable experience using the punishment game as an excuse. Right? Whoa, what do you mean, valuable experience? I held my head in my hands in agony. My state of mind could be summed up with a 3-letter word. It was... sob. Coach gently put his hands on my shoulders. Was he comforting me? Maebara, in times when you must accept hardship, Just imagine that... Imagination. I do wonder what kind of word associations he had going on in his head. At the very least, it was much different than what was in mine. First thing that comes to mind when I think of disciplining certain maids. Tomita Okamura. The coach is pretty funny. I'm surprised he can even be a coach. Tomita and Okamura exchanged glances and answered with dry smiles. Then they added that he was a really nice person most of the time, which is something you'd normally say about a person like that. Coach's questionable revolution slowed to a stop, and then his expression turned to a clear one, almost making what just happened seem like an illusion. He can switch gears way too fast. Then, let us start cleaning up. Mibara, you seem quite strong. Could you bring the plates over to the wash basin? Bring the plates over to the wash basin and clean them. Right on it. Right on. I hosted the dusty barbecue plates, each with slim oil. I've forgotten how to read and speak English. I really have. My brain's just like sludge. I hoisted the dirty barbecue plates, each with slimy oil clinging to it, and looked for the wash basins. These are heavy. Where are the wash basins? Over there? Figuring I should make it there before my arms gave out, I headed towards it at a trot. None of the adults who'd been helping out were using the wash basins, so I gave up and looked for a different set. I asked them, and they told me there were more right by the assembly hall, too, so I decided to head that way. Rather than multiple basins, it was just the one faucet there. I initially thought it'd be small too to watch places as big as these, but it would probably still be faster than waiting for a faucet to open up back there. Turned the faucet on, and water much nicer looking than it gushed forth. I put a plate under the faucet and scrubbed it with my hand to try and rub it clean. Didn't go very well. Here you go. A sponge and dish soap. You can't wash them with just water. It was Shion. I mean, you can if you're lazy like me. Beep. She threw a brand new sponge and a container filled with a cleaner to me. Oh, thanks. You should have just put them by the basins and left it to the grown-ups. You're always doing the right thing. I got the feeling that wasn't quite a compliment. I answered her with a forced smile. I'm surprised to learn you're the manager for the Hinamizawa fighters. I thought you didn't do stuff like that because it's too much of a bother. Yeah, it is quite a bother. That's why I stopped showing up entirely. Didn't Coach say he wanted you to come back? You should pay a visit once in a while. If I feel like it, I guess. Shion made it sound like the end of the world could happen before she felt like it. Whoops. I couldn't keep washing these dishes while preoccupied with conversation, so I decided to take my task seriously. She neither offered to help nor got in my way. She just quietly watched the water flowing from the faucet. Oh, right, I heard something. You were the star player in yesterday's game, weren't you? Soko hit the home run, so I think she was the real star player. Okay, thank you for coming along, Nagels. I hope you had fun. Or at the very least managed to laugh at my inability to read anymore. Have a good evening, or afternoon as the case may be, and take care of yourself. See you later. Absolutely, this it'll be up on the YouTubes as well, probably tomorrow. Depends how I feel. I'm desperately hoping that the VOD of this exports properly and not like last week's VOD, which was a chronic nightmare. So I'm really annoyed at that. I'm so PO'd at the issues from last week because I didn't record, because I typically don't. I just export straight from Twitch. It's faster than recording and uploading, and easier to do as well. So large chunks of that are missing, which is really annoying to me, but hey, such is life. Anyway, take care, have a good evening. Stoko hit the home run, so I think she was the real star player. I didn't know she had those kind of reflexes. It surprised me. She's totally different from Satoshi. There's not much doubt that all the athletic ability in the family went to her. Shion smiled as she spoke, her eyes looking at something far away, betraying her reminiscence. Satoshi? Stoko's older brother. You know, Satoshi Hojo? Oh, right. You just moved here this year, didn't you, Keiichi? You wouldn't have ever met him. I was a little surprised that Shion knew about Satoshi. Never met him, but I know a little. After their parents passed away, he transferred to a different school, right? I avoided saying that he ran away from home and used the slightly more vague words that everyone else did. Transferred? Who said anything like that? I hadn't yet realised that Shion's tone had changed slightly. Well, I mean, who was it then? His hard work is definitely more unnerving than the situation. Yeah, I heard it from someone, that he transferred. Who? You said that because you asked someone, right? Who did I ask? I don't really remember. Even so, he transferred, so that's it, right? Not like there's a problem with it. There is one. Does that mean there's a record of his transfer? To another school? And that someone saw it? Or heard about it? Around that time, I not only noticed how awfully caught up on the Shion was, but also how startling and dangerous her eyes had begun to look. Shion? What's up? You look really serious. With that, Shion seemed to realise the expression she was making. She took a deep breath, pretended to fix her hair, and went back to a composed expression from before. I'm sorry, but Keiichi, you don't know much about Satoshi, so please don't say that you transferred or anything like that. I'm serious. Please. Realised I must have said something I shouldn't have, but I wasn't immediately sure of what I should apologise for, so I just said one safe word for now. Sorry. I just sort of heard you transferred and believed it. Was it actually something else? It was, of course. Preceded by his parents, he'd left his sister and run away, but I'd wanted to try and avoid using the words run away, so I pretended not to know. Upon seeing my flustered reply, Shion realised she was intimidating me and lowered her voice. I'm sorry. I'm not blaming you for anything, Keiichi. I was being a little harsh. I apologise. I didn't really mind. That was a fib. I was actually a little scared, even. Was there something wrong with saying he ran away? Was there some sort of misunderstanding in saying he transferred? But before I could ask her, she turned on her heel to leave. Hey, Shion. Right, good luck with those. Looks like your plate is last. That's the last one you need to wash. Her final remark reminded me the dishes I'd seriously forgotten about. So immersed in conversation were we that it got pretty late. I turned the faucet on again to get the water flowing faster. Whoosh! Violently scrubbed the plate. When I turned back around, Shion was no longer there. By the time I finished washing the plates, most of the other things had been cleaned up. The air had cooled off before I realised it, and as the heat that had stuck with us all day disappeared, a nice breeze started to blow. Hello! Aw, congrats! I hope it's going well. I hope you're doing well, Lynn. I hope you've been having a good day. I'm really intrigued by Umineko. I made the decision, after I finish this series, I'm going to go through my backlog. I've got loads of games that I want to play, and I sort of want to run through those. But I'm kind of considering afterwards picking up Umineko and then Seconia, which is the third in the When They Cry section, which apparently is more game-like than like visual novel-like. So, yeah, I'm really intrigued by the concept of Umineko. I think it's really cool. Is it a bit like so the way that Higurashi does it is that it's like it's a time loop that restarts, and so in the middle there's the like there's a thing in the middle that always happens, which is the festival, and then the rest of it, like, things change, different things happen, pardon me, and it's sort of all different sorts of things. Is Umineko like you have one presumes 4 chapters that are like question chapters and 4 that are answer, or whatever it is, but you know, it's a certain number of question chapters, a certain number of answer chapters, but it's not like, I'm asking, does it have a time loop the way that Higurashi does? Or is it more like a single event but retelling it from different people's perspective? I know next to nothing about Umineko other than that it's a thing that exists. I feel like, is there an anime of it? Because I feel like at some point I was recommended the anime. Well, there's certainly an anime with that name. Okay. Questions for answers. Neat. Sounds really cool. When They Cry. I'm looking at it to see if I recognise I don't recognise that in the slightest, so... Okay. I mean, the goal of Higurashi really is to survive more than anything else. So, I must have done an AMV with somebody who would who used it. That's my guess. That's usually how I know about Ultra Anime. Back in Yi Day. Eric called off before I realised it, and as the heat that had struck with us all day dispersed, a nice breeze began to blow. I just realised there's like a patch on my keyboard which is like completely smooth plastic, and it's from where my wrist is when I'm playing like Dishonored or Final Fantasy or Destiny really as well. You probably need a new keyboard, to be honest. Okay, everyone, can I have your attention? Coach got everyone together to make his closing remarks, and with that, another fun day drew to its close. In the end, Mion entered the game with a magnificent victory. Stoko and Rika, who'd laboured so hard to betray me, had fallen into a huge trap afterwards, leaving them frustrated about more than a few things. People who betray others will one day be betrayed themselves. Never been more true, huh? Ah, you're not the one I want to hear that from, Keiichi. Haha, Reina didn't fall for anyone's tricks. That's how I got second. Second? Reina doesn't buy into lies very easily. She has a sharp wit. I'm surprised. She seems like she'd fall for the first lie to come her way. Funny you should say that, Keiichi. You desired to prey upon others, and right away you became the prey instead. Make sure you don't fall for those dumb schemes that promise higher returns the more friends you rope in, okay? Thanks, Mion, the anti-multi-level marketing guru we deserve. Yeah, I'll try harder. Even good friends will lay traps mercilessly and betray everyone in sight once they get into a serious enough game. But despite that, once it's all over, they can feel refreshed and laugh together, reminding me of how we were all such great friends. Sad wink. Anyway, I'm looking forward to Keiichi's punishment game. However, can you really implement such a thing? I think the store manager would have a thing to say about it. No? I wonder. Maybe Keiichi will be really cute. Cute. I kind of want to see. I'm on the edge of my seat. I will trip him up and make him wipe the floor. That'd be great. Why couldn't I win now of all times? Whenever I think I'll definitely win today and that I'll make someone else pay the punishment game, I lose. Is it not enough? Do I not believe hard enough in victory? Ooh. Oh, the winning of the loser tastes like sweet honey. How sad, how sad. Pat pat. This is how you get stronger, Keiichi. It's like I'm looking at Mion from last year. Mion last year? What? Did she always lose and moan about it in the past? How very interesting. I didn't know what undefeated President Mion was once like that. No need to talk about that. Mion hastily covered Reina's mouth. Everyone watching burst out laughing. Finally, Rika pulled on Stoko's sleeve. Okay, we should be going soon. Oh, yes, we must go shopping for dinner, mustn't we? I wanted to keep talking like this forever, but it was getting late. We split up with Stoko and Rika and decided to get on our way home. Alright, bye. See you tomorrow at school. Everyone waved to each other and split up for the short time between now and tomorrow. Okay, let's go. We began walking down the tall staircase leading from the shrine grounds. As the sun started to set, the afternoon's heat began to disappear as though it was never there. Just listening to the chorus of the Higurashi was enough to make me forget about how hot it had been today. Couldn't think of it, it's still June, huh? We didn't have a rainy season at all this year. Like, all of a sudden it's just summer, you know? Now that I thought about it, she was right. It was June, the season of long rain, of hydrangeas and snails. Snail! I haven't seen a real rainy season since transferring here. According to the weather forecast, it's supposed to get more rainy during the first part of the week. They were warning people about heavy showers. I hope it doesn't run into a Tatarigoroshi. That's right, the rainy season's supposed to be rainy. Reina likes all the rain in the rainy season. So much rain just makes me depressed. I like rain as long as I don't have to queue for a bus in it. Rain when you're like inside and you're warm and you've got like a big mug of tea and you can just enjoy the sound of it. Really cool, especially for me. I'm in the on the second floor, so I don't have to worry about flooding or about my roof leaking, which I had to worry about when I was back in London. I'm in the middle story here. but when I have to queue for 20 minutes for a bus in the rain, that's when I get really depressed. And also damp. Huh? I was a little spaced out, so I was late in answering Mion. I was thinking back to my conversation with her sister. When I said that Satoshi transferred, Shion clearly got angry. She was mad at me for saying something so careless. I mean, it may have been a vague way of skirting around the fact that he ran away from home, but I don't think it was so bad that Shion would need to feel mad about it. I wasn't really satisfied with it. I felt like a child, completely ignorant of what he was being scolded for, so my thoughts spilled out of my mouth in a very direct fashion. Stoko had a brother, right? Named Satoshi, I think? What? As soon as I said the name Satoshi, Reina and Mion both lost their relaxed, comfortable mood and made strange expressions. Should I have avoided talking about this? Probably. That's what they made me think. But I've already said it, so that's that. And I'd be lying if I said I wasn't interested. What happened to Satoshi again? Did he move away? That was such a transparent way of putting it, but in my desire to know everything, I feigned ignorance. Mion turned around to look to Reina for assistance. Reina looked between us, then quietly and softly spoke. Wait, did we not tell you? He transferred out. When I said those words to Shion, she got upset, so I answered her with the same words Shion had given me. Transferred? Who told you something like that? Huh? I'd only intended to borrow Shion's words, but I said it exactly the same way she had, right down to the thorns in her voice. When I realised what I'd done, I immediately tried to soften my remark. If he really transferred, there'd be records of it at school and stuff, right? But is there actually anything like that? Mion and Reina, their eyes grew wide. They were at a loss for words. Started to feel like I was doing something really bad. Thought they were only hiding the fact that Stoko's older brother ran away out of consideration for her. I'm not trying to blame you for anything, okay? I just wanted to ask what happened to Satoshi, that's all. I wasn't trying to blame them. The fact that I had to remind them even looked like I was tormenting them. With an impossible question. No, maybe I was actually bullying them. Maybe I'd lashed out of them in the retaliation of Shion getting mad at me. This whole day had been so much fun, but now? Why did I go and say something that made all of that meaningless? Couldn't help but regret my own careless curiosity. That's enough, let's drop it now. I was about to say that, Mion spoke up. Well, it's not like we were hiding it or lying. I hope you understand, that's not what we were trying to do. Mion's tone conveyed a genuine awkwardness. They sounded like their excuse of a child who'd been presented with evidence of her own mischief. Satoshi, well, he didn't transfer schools, Mion said, resigning herself. But I felt bad for pushing her to say that, so it's okay, Mion. Let's stop talking about Satoshi. Sorry for teasing you. I wanted to apologise, but right before that... He won't come back. What? Unlike Mion's stammered reply, Reina was extremely clear and resolute. He won't come back. What? He won't come back home ever since that day. He won't come back. That was a strange way of putting it. Normally you'd say he hadn't come back yet. At least I thought you'd only say it like Reina did if he wasn't capable of coming back. You wouldn't say it like that when talking about someone who ran away from home. What do you mean he won't come back? Where did Satoshi go? I don't know. Reina's word choice felt very cold to me. So cold that I couldn't muster a response right away. Well, she's right. After that day, Satoshi hasn't returned home. Mio noticed the deadlock between us and hurriedly followed up on what Reina had said. Well, that is, everyone in the village searched for him. We even got the police to help us look. Well, they started to think that maybe he ran away. When running away from home, I thought you were supposed to leave a note or something. So when Satoshi ran away, he'd probably have left some kind of letter apologising to Sotoko. That was just kind of what I'd figured. But from the way Mion was talking, it seemed a little different than just running away from home. The police did an investigation. Satoshi had been earning money at a part-time job and had put some aside, and they learned that on the day he vanished, he withdrew it all. And then at Nagoya Station or something, they spotted someone who looked a lot like Satoshi. He withdrew all his savings to fund his escape from home. Was that it? Seemed consistent enough to me, but before I could say anything... I think that's a lie. Satoshi didn't run away, declared Reina shortly. Hey, wait, so if he didn't transfer schools or move away, and he didn't run away from home, then what on earth? Stop it, Reina, Mion whispered to her. Reina, however, continued without interruption, and then she said this. Because it was Oyashiro-sama's curse. Huh? A curse? Took some time before I understood what Reina meant by that. Mion clicked her tongue and shook her head a little. Satoshi talked to me before he disappeared. He said someone was watching him, stalking him. They even followed him home. He told me that when he went to bed, they were standing there at his bedside looking down at him. Stop it, Reina. It's a portent of Oyashiro-sama's curse, there's no doubt. I think somewhere deep down, Satoshi was probably thinking about abandoning Hinamizawa and running away. God, I didn't even notice the eyes. I was reading her dialogue and totally spaced out. Ugh. I really hate it. That possessed look they get. Especially with a small smile. Ugh. Dis-fucking-like. And Ayasha-sama wouldn't allow that. I said stop it. Ayasha-sama is the guardian deity of Hinamizawa. He'd never allow anyone to abandon Hinamizawa and run away. I apologise for it, but Satoshi probably didn't. It must have been. It must have been Ayasha-sama's curse. Ayasha-sama's curse? I hadn't intended to repeat it, but the words came out of my mouth anyway. Ayasha-sama's curse? The policeman said he ran away, but I still don't believe it. I won't believe it, not ever. It's just a lie told by the self-important people in the village who don't want to admit it was the curse. And whether or not you believe in Ayasha-sama's curse, it's... wham! Mion struck Reina in the head. Not in a joking way either. I told you to give it a rest, didn't I? I tried to be nice, but you're pushing me to my limits. Pushing her to her limits. Actually, there was plenty of displeasure and anger in Mion's face at that moment. For a few moments after being hit, Reina looked astonished. Perhaps the voices of the Higurashi calmed her frantic mind, because after a little while she regained her original calm expression. We arrived at the place we were split up with Mion. No one said a word until we got there. The voices of the Higurashi just tortured our ears with their buzzing. We were split up with Mion here, leaving just Reina and me. Hey, Keiichi, didn't I promise to lend you some manga? Want to come over real quick? Huh? She promised that? However, I quickly realised it was a convenient way of saying she wanted to talk to me alone. Oh, I see. Okay then, Reina will go home. Maybe she realised it, maybe she didn't. Thankfully, Reina quickly said she'd go home before us. Bye, Reina. See you tomorrow. Yep, see you tomorrow. Keiichi, don't be too much of a bother now. It's already evening. I'm just going to borrow a few books. See ya. Considering the fun day we had, it was a very insipid, lonely parting. Big, unnerved cat energy! Hey, don't worry too much about before. After a little while, Mion finally spoke. Quite some time had passed since splitting up with Reina. No, I'm not really. I think it was my fault anyway. We weren't trying to hide anything about Satoshi. It's just one of those things we shouldn't mention, you know? At this point, I understood exactly what she meant by that. Judging by our interaction with Reina, I understood so well it hurt, that I shouldn't ever talk about it again. Actually, if that's the case, then was Shion too? No, this is the bigger problem. Talking about it in the first place had been indiscreet. I shouldn't have been interested in it at all. But that's why I really had to think about it. About why everyone got so irritated. Idiot, stop this, Keiichi Maebara. By the time I tried to warn myself, I'd accidentally spoken already. I won't ask ever again, so could you tell me honestly, what on earth happened to Satoshi? He ran away, right? For a long time, Mion remained silent, but finally unable to endure it any longer, she began to speak timidly. Have you ever heard about Oyashiro-sama's curse? Just a little bit. I got the gist of it. I only ever heard someone in class talking about it, though. Oyashiro-sama was the name of the deity that protecting Hinamizawa, that they worship at the shrine we had the barbecue at today. And a few years ago, when they started talking about flooding Hinamizawa as part of the dam project, one of the people on the site died or something, and people blamed it on Oyashiro-sama's curse. That's how it was. Satoshi's dead parents. They were proponents of the dam project. Wasn't everyone in the village against it? Why would they support the project if they lived here? Dam project that would flood the entirety of Hinamizawa. I heard the village all got together to fight the terrible project, but it was a little hard to believe there were villagers who were supporting it. Oh, I just freaked myself out with the noise before I realised that it was me leaning back in my chair. Well, there was a lot of stuff going on, but not everyone agreed to stand up to the dam proposal. Satoshi's parents were basically the leaders of those who were all for it. Leaders are the ones for it? Satoko and Satoshi's parents? Parents. Yeah, the government had gathered a lot of compensation money to exchange for the construction of the dam. There were plenty of people who agreed with the proposal because they wanted the money. Aside from a few households, Hinamizawa was in general not very affluent, not because they were proud to inherit the land of their ancestors. It wouldn't be strange if some people wanted enough money to start a new life. But even in that case, they'd have to hesitate to say so, given the situation. Just happened to be Satoko and Satoshi's parents who understood that and stood up to be their representative. By that standard, you might say Satoko and Satoshi's parents were very heroic. They volunteered to be hated, or to help those without much money who didn't have a voice. And then, their parents had bad luck. They died in an accident on the day of the festival honouring Oyashiro-sama, so people started to think that maybe it had been Oyashiro-sama's curse. Thought back to what Coach told me today. They went to a nature park on a family outing and fell from a cliff. So people thought that even Satoshi running away from home was because of Oyashiro-sama's curse? Well, yeah, basically. It was a bit of an evasive reply, but I felt it was wrong to ask any further, so I didn't press it for details. I don't think I need to explain this, but for Satoko, her parents' accident and Satoshi running away, and all the business about Oyashiro-sama's curse, none of it's a very happy story, you know? Of course I knew. I could only nod silently. That's why we're not mentioning anything about Satoko's family. Even if someone asks about Satoshi, we just lie and say he transferred schools. You can understand why, right? They wanted to protect Satoko's happiness, her smile. Someone who thought that way once, even for a short time. I really did regret having been imprudent enough to broach the topic to begin with. Yeah, I get it. I'm sorry I asked something so careless. When she heard that, Mion smiled, seeming a little relieved. Without understanding, thinking I should get going, I began to make my way home. Could really have stopped by Mion's house, but it was already late. I stopped by again the next time I had a chance. Bye then, Mion. Sorry about today. See you tomorrow. Yeah, goodbye. We waved to each other. Then suddenly, remembering something, Mion called out to me. Keiichi, one more thing. Not only around Satoko, could you keep quiet about Satoshi with Reina too? Huh? I think you realised earlier, but for some reason when it comes to Oyashiro-sama's curse, she gets extremely serious, ever since she transferred here. Yeah, judging by how Reina was acting earlier, it was clearly no laughing matter to her. Mion had interrupted the conversation for us, but if Mion hadn't been there, what might have happened? Why would Reina be so serious about it? Not only Reina either, but Shion too. I don't know. Reina is... Oh, this is a secret, okay? If you tell anyone, we're not friends anymore. Mion emphasised this as her expression clouded even further. I won't tell. What's this about Reina? She says she's been a victim of Oyashiro-sama's curse before. Huh? Well, it may sound mean, but I think it may be a bad case of a persecution complex or some kind of wrong assumption. But she says so herself, so I believe her. If I poke fun at it, she gets pretty upset. Reina jokes around all the time, but she's really scary when she's mad. Boy howdy, ain't that the truth. I get it. Don't talk about it in front of Reina, right? About Satoshi? Yeah. If possible, I think we shouldn't talk about this ever again. For her sake. And for Satoko's. For everyone else's too. And if I must say, for your own sake too, Keiichi. With the silence, Mion made sure I knew that. Yeah, okay. I got it. Thanks. Saying only that, she waved her hand and began walking away. I watched her go a little dazed, and then started walking myself. Satoko's older brother, Satoshi. Had he run away from home? Or had he been a victim of the curse and disappeared forever? Whichever the case, none of this was anything I should have asked about. The cooling air forced me into self-reflection. I wanted Satoko to smile, yet my curiosity easily defeated me and I frivolously tried to step into the dark side of things in a joking way. I'm shameful. I wanted today to be exactly like yesterday. I wanted tomorrow to be just as fun as today too. So why did I go and do something like that? We were having a blast at the baseball game yesterday, and today we had a blast at the big barbecue party too. It was a lot of fun, but then I went and almost nullified all those fun times. I would have to be more careful starting tomorrow. Put all this unpleasant stuff behind me forever. Like hell I'm going to let my enjoyable life end because of how careless I was today. But the more I thought that I'd be more careful starting tomorrow, the more I couldn't get rid of the ominous thought that I'd already put an end to those enjoyable days with what I'd just done. Wank, wink, wonk, wink. Hey, wait. Calm down, Keiichi Maebara. The gears of destiny are freaking gigantic, aren't they? What happened just now was trivial. It doesn't make any sense to think my life will totally be different starting tomorrow. But even though I understood it logically, the mist in my heart wasn't going to fade until tomorrow turned out to be just as fun as today. I'm acting weird. I'm thinking a little too much about that conversation. I wish tomorrow would come already. I wanted it to make me understand how absurd my insignificant doubts really were. The night was long. I'm trying to decide if I want to keep going or if I want to end after tips. I'm really tired. Oh, there's 3 tips. Yeah, okay. I think I might end after these. We'll see. I'll see how I feel after I read these out. Also, the achievement for this is called Mystery Meat, which is really unnerving. Shion, why don't you help out a little? Are you asking a girl to carry something heavy? This is why you still haven't found a nice lady at your age, Coach. Well, you see, at times like this, here's what people say. It's none of your business. He was loading the station wagon with heaps of equipment we used for today's barbecue meeting. All the fathers and sons who'd help were starting to get on the way. Alright, so, Shion, why'd you come all the way here? If you rode here on your bike, I can give you a lift. I did, but I'll be fine riding back. I appreciate your consideration. I was glad you came today. Things don't quite fit together without the manager here. Am I still the manager? Been shirking my duty for an entire year, so maybe you should just fire such an incompetent manager already. Alright, if you say you want to quit, then I'll fire you whenever you want. Ugh, it's not fair. Let me go soon, please. Every time I don't show up at game, I get an annoying phone call, and I can't stand those. If you were more honest with yourself, Shion, you'd be far cuter. Your father is so sad. Where did he go so wrong as to deserve such a rebellious daughter? Perhaps if your father... what? 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 Coach was falling around with all his might, but Shion just smiled into the distance without responding. Nothing's changed. You're still a weirdo, Coach, and everyone's still as lively as ever. Even though Satoshi isn't here. Is that what you wanted to say? He'll come home. I'm sure of it. He has someone waiting for him. Say whatever you want. He sure is cruel, isn't he? Going off to who knows where, leaving such a cute girlfriend behind? Girlfriend? Who? Huh? Jeez, quit laughing already. Coach! Coach bent over and laughed heartily for a little while. We'll see each other again. Please, come and root for us once in a while, okay? If I feel like it. I have no desire to be the manager anymore, after all. That's fine. If you don't like it, I'll fire you. I'm not the kind of person who likes forcing people to do things against their will. Okay, fine. I'm sorry. You win this round. If I feel like it, I'll come root for you, so for today, just be patient. Whoops, that time already? It's past time to return all this. I'm already making them wait for me. I'll be leaving for today then. Let's meet again in the next game. Yes, if I feel like it. Goodbye, Coach. Right, time to get gross. Whew. The autopsy suggests the victim was killed in the following manner. 1. Entire body bound in restraints. Traces left behind from when the body seemed to have bound indicated use of a specific restraining table rather than rope or another common method. Finger joints in either hand appear to have been bound especially tightly. Highly likely that the table was either specially made or homemade, given this information. Both ears and nose severed with a sharp blade. Traces of the restraints and other things seem to suggest there was at least one more than the other one who severed these body parts, holding down the victim's head. Possible that multiple blades were used, with one most likely being scissors. Cheers. 5 nails penetrated fingers on each hand. 1 long nail stuck in each joint of each finger on each hand, for a total of 30. The deceased's fingers were nailed to wooden planks, 20 square centimetres large. Extremely likely these planks were part of the restraining table. In addition, it's likely that the table was originally designed for just such a purpose. Abdomen incised, intestines removed. The incision in the abdomen is likely to have been a technique granted in medical methodology using a sharp blade. Estimated there was still no threat to the victim's life at this stage. Really? I suppose. After this, the organs inside the incision were dismantled and removed. The victim likely died as a result of this process. Body disposed. After fastening a dumbbell to the victim's neck using a personal pet collar, the victim was likely abandoned in the Oji River's third drain. Judging by the dumbbell's weight, it's highly possible they would have needed at least 3 grown men to have disposed of the body. To Mr. Oishi. Here's a copy of the preliminary autopsy of the slaughtered corpse in the Oji River. Chief Shigehiro sees this as having a possible relation to the S group. What are your thoughts, Mr. Oishi? Gross. Gross. No. There it is. Run. 3 chun, 3 dora, mangan with 1500 extra. What? What's up with that? How do you have 3 dora? You idiot. You're the one who flipped over another Kandora when you know Oishi was in Tenpai. That's what you get. Getting more Dora was the only thing I could do after revealing the chun. You can't discard a Dora type after a Yakuhai is out. Hoo-hoo! Mr. Oishi grinned meaningfully as his buddy, swearing, began breaking down the walls and reforming them. By the way, Mr. Oishi, figure it out yet? What? Oh, the murdered body in the drainage channel? Any new clues come up? Yes, well, you were the ones collecting the evidence here. I should have expected that. Who was the deceased? Rina Mamiya, actual name Ritsuko. Apparently, she worked for the Blue Mermaid, a hostess bar on Shishibone Flower Road. Oh wow, that place, huh? A young leader of the Sonozaki owns it, yeah? Sonozaki, whoops. So it's related to the S group. That mountain will be tough to scale. Rumours say the deceased have been dipping into Sonozaki's protection money, and on a pretty significant scale too, from what I've heard. A woman getting her hands on Yakuza tax money? Sounds like a man's behind it. Not a lot of women do that sort of thing themselves. Well, she's dead now. The dead can't have anything to do with it. About that, Mr. Oishi, her cohabitant's apparently still alive. Alive? Then maybe he'll die soon. Vermin usually exterminate other vermin. I think we have a very nice self-cleansing system going on. Anyway, her man, it's, well, Teppei Hojo. Hojo? Who's that? Teppei Hojo, the husband of the housewife who was beaten to death last year in Hamazawa. I heard he disappeared after the incident, though. I get it, he was staying at his lover's place, huh? And so the Sonozakis grow ever more suspicious. Where is he now? He was living in a woman's apartment. He must have thought she abandoned him, so he's been searching around shops and other gathering places. Well, and with that, to quote Jeremy Clarkson, who I actually really don't like, on that bombshell, we are going to end things here. It is a little bit early, but I think we've got a pretty good stopping place here. So it is time to finish it. The plot goes ever thicker. So the corpse who died at the beginning was somebody who was dipping into protection money, and so one presumes was killed because she was basically skimming off the top of her Yakuza bosses. And she also happened to be having an affair with Teppei Hojo. Teppei, who, I just really like saying that name for some reason, who is Satoko's uncle, and whose wife was beaten to death. And whose nephew, Satoshi, then disappeared. So the plot grows ever thicker, strings go ever tighter. Anyway, I will be streaming Dishonored this Saturday. We are going to be finishing off the Brigmore Witches, and definitely putting an end to Delilah. There will be absolutely no way that she's going to come back in a future game as a really cool character that I actually quite like, even though her boss battle is an absolute nightmare. And that's that. Then, on Sunday it'll be Destiny 2. I'm going to be wrapping up a few more of the things that I have left over from beforehand before we move on to the Season of the Forge. So I'm going to be doing a couple of the strikes I have left over, and also doing the last bit of the story for the Dreaming City. I'm also kind of tempted to try and see if I can do the Blind Well, but I don't think that's matchmaking, unfortunately, and I don't really want to do it by myself, so we'll see. Next Tuesday will be Final Fantasy XIV, where the current plan is to keep keeping on with Shadowbringers on our Shard, who is my EU character. He's Odin, and he's on Light Data Center. Used to be Chaos. Alas, we split from Chaos, but I decided not to move servers because I like having him on Odin. And that'll be that. The next Thursday, of course, will be more Tatarigoroshi, where things start to get bad. This much I know. I may have accidentally spoiled myself a bit, but I will probably forget it by next week, knowing me. Anyway, take care everybody, have a wonderful evening, do look after yourselves, have a good night. Congrats on getting all the editing done then. Very good. I need to subscribe you on YouTube actually, I think I'm not subbed. Alas. And yeah, take care everybody, have a wonderful evening, do look after yourselves. I know I just said that, but I'm going to say it again. And I shall see you guys on Saturday.